Okay.
So there's no password. You should be fine. But just be aware that when you give it that password, it's going to erase everything. And that means it's also going to release your EEPROM. So you want to make sure you have like a byte perfect copy of that to give it later.
Okay.
Because I had that panic, but luckily I saved it right before for something else. Otherwise, I would have been really screwed.
Yeah. Okay. I gotta figure out how to read that.
Yep, so definitely pull that. Like, you have to pull it exactly how the LSI wants it. So you literally just have to read memory and have access to read that area. For me, it was like FF20. That's where it was at.
Okay.
I'm gonna get some water. 1 second.
Have fun.
Okay. We're gonna get a few things sorted here. Then we're gonna continue. If you're tuning in, we got just a little bit of cleaning left to do. I did the cam carriages last night when I got off, and this morning. So I got the rest of the oil pan to finish just kind of brushing up, and then I got the timing cover, and then I'm putting the cam carriages and the timing set on. We're getting this thing in time tonight. Alright. I think this sweatshirt.
Yeah, it looks like an oil pan upper.
Yes, it is. This is the yes, this is the upper part of the FA24's oil pan and/or system. This has like a lot of the main like galley, and there's it's got the water pump assembly on it as well, and a few other things. Some people call the upper the lower, depends on your orientation. It's just part of the oil pan. It's the oiling system. Hell, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna be just finishing up the cleaning here, getting a lot of this loose RTV off. It's not really that big of a deal in terms of criticality. The most important part is this mating surface is what is the most important part of it actually being clean. In terms of this stuff not having silicone, it's okay if there's something there, but what's more important is it being clean in the sense of little bits and pieces like this coming from cleaning up the rest to be blown out and or brake cleaned, quote unquote, away appropriately, because you don't want that shit sticking around. Even though some people from some factories that this motor happened to come from used 14,000 metric tons of this shit. So apparently you can get away with using more than your average bear and still be within specification. Like,
Doesn't hurt if there's too much to them. It hurts if there's too little.
yeah, it's basically if you don't do it the right amount, you're going straight to hell. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. You're just done.
What are you in for? I misapplied RTV.
It's an unforgivable sin.
The depths of hell with you.
I mean, for real though, it's like a fucking practice. I've had to practice. So there's no shame. You know?
I find that so fascinating. I want to also touch on something I'm seeing here in this upper lower that you have on the table here.
What's up?
Which is that on my and I think your right side as well, there is this scoop looking thing coming down. I'm thinking that that looks like perhaps the oil sump, like where it's draining back from.
Here. So my right, there's a funnel. You mean this right here?
No, for the U would be the back side of the block, like on the top side. There's like this thing that swoops, and I'm thinking, does that go all the way through that tube that goes through the center of the?
Oh, it's right here. Let's find out.
Because here's why I think it might be that. The GR86 owners have said with this block, and I believe the BRZ owners have said this as well, is when they're in tight, I forget if it's a left or a right-handed turn, it loses oil pressure. And I'm thinking, okay, if that is oriented the way I think it is, then if I'm in a right-hand turn, I might lose oil pressure. Or left hand, I would.
We don't have that problem. From my understanding, that's from the oil pickup. From the bottom part of the pan, this tube.
So they have a different lower part of the pan than we do, I take it?
And they have this part is different. And
Oh, wow.
And they don't have a scavenge pump. They don't have the pump on the front of the cover with the little nozzle that sprays oil directly into the veins of the oil pump.
It makes you wonder why they have that and they're a higher revving engine.
Cost optimization, my friend. Trying to cheap out. By the way, that little swoosh, or that whoosh, or whatever, I don't know if you can see the engine cam here, but this right here.
Yep, I see it now.
Does not go to the... That does not go to the oil in any way. That looks like engine coolant. I could be.
I got you.
I could be wrong. It is interesting how does it seal, but it looks like it does have RTV. So,
It looks like it's gonna have to.
Yeah.
Which is also, like, I'm just gonna say pretty dumb. Because look at how much space you have to RTV when it could just be a frickin' hole.
Yeah, will you shut up? I know, man. It's so much work.
You're gonna have to, like, fucking cake that in RTV.
I know.
And you can't miss anything. Or else it's gonna start, like, bleeding from the inside.
You're telling me. Then it starts exploding, and then now I'm really done for.
Yeah. That's gonna be what takes your engine out. It's not gonna be a melted piston. It's not gonna be a bent rod or a spun bearing. It's gonna be application of RTV.
No, it's
You'll go
not.
straight to hell.
Because I'm doing it the right way. Will you hush? All I gotta do is just keep taking my time, keep cleaning shit.
No, yeah. It does seem tedious, but as long as you put your mind to it, and make sure it's clean.
It's what you have to do. There is no choice. This royalty-free music isn't too bad. I typed in blues. Did you monitor Twitch and make sure it's going okay?
Yeah.
You should also, while you're in here, you should do the chat for me because I can't see it.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anyone said anything.
God damn it. Whew. It's so odd to do this with this carbide bit. You can't apply any force, but you have to hold it firmly at that angle. This is the bitch. I don't want to mark up the fucking aluminum. So now we're basically, besides doing the cam carriers, but in terms of cleaning, we are back to where I was when, before I had to tear the motor apart.
Oh.
So my read memory function works by like checking basically if the address that you requested is in either ROM or RAM. So I was thinking to do like to have it read EEPROM to me. I can just change like the lower limit because it uses an if statement, and it's like if your address is not within the RAM region and not within the ROM region, then it'll give you the error code. Otherwise, it'll read it. So if I just make it think the RAM region is like also EEPROM, would that be enough, you think?
Yeah, I think it'll be enough.
Okay.
Whoa. I did that too, actually, at one point. That's how I did it as well.
Okay, that's good. I'll try it tomorrow then. Did you try reading like an address that doesn't exist?
Yeah, it'll crash.
Okay.
So, it's not a big deal, though. If it does.
Okay. Yeah, as long as it doesn't break itself somehow.
Nope, it shouldn't.
Okay, good.
But I think it generates a system exception. And it jumps to, like, whatever your exception handler is for that particular issue. Which might just be, like, system error, offset, or maybe there's one for it. The V850, there's a specific address you jump to in the bootloaders. Obviously, you can supply it, but yeah, there's a specific address it jumps to, and that just resets the freaking thing. That's what it does.
Okay, interesting.
So you'll just be like, wait a minute, I swear I was logged in, because you'll try and read the memory, and you'll try and read it again, and it'll just be like, access denied or whatever. And that's because the ECU had rebooted and you lost your login.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this royalty-free music's way better. Woo! That's spicy. Damn. Oh, Matt, baby, listening to blues. Now I'm gonna try my best to distract you while you're trying to be productive. Oh, baby, oh, man, yeah, if I can crack that code. You're not even paying attention, are you?
Huh?
Just having a good Saturday night. How are you guys doing today? Even though it sounds silly, even cleaning up the RTV in these holes, which is still wet. What the fuck? How is that possible? Huh, that's interesting. Must have gotten oil on it when they applied it and it never cured. Yeah, that one was wet too. Damn. That's interesting. Yeah, honestly, in terms of longevity, Matt, if you were to ever do anything to your car from this point on, I highly suggest at least taking the lower oil pan, not this, but the part below this, off, and just checking for silicone, because I didn't have any. But there's no way that eventually I wouldn't, because there's so much access in the factory motor.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd be stupid for me not to tell you, like, I personally have interest in the well-being of your engine, and I'm like, bro, do it. Okay, let's flip this over. Oh, look at that. It's almost like someone did most of the work and did the other side. Ain't that convenient?
Oh, you're welcome.
You're well. Excuse me, young man. Yeah, Matt did this last night. It was about 2:30 in the morning. He took care of this for me. I can't thank him enough. So, shout out to him. He fixes everything from code to RTV. Look at that, folks. That's so nice. Alright, so we're gonna put this somewhere safe now because we don't want to scar up this mating surface. I'm just gonna set this in the tool bag casually. It's very gross. You gotta spray it and then spray it again and then spray it and then spray it a third time. Of course, I once again was using or scraping RTV silicone next to the rocker arms, which are now full of fucking RTV. Here's the what they call the oil spacer for one of the cam carriages and head assemblies. They're in with two 10mm bolts. I think they put that in the head for oil draining and evap, like crankcase pressure reasons. Oh no, I lost my name brand. Oh. Here we go. Here we go, folks. We're back. Look at this awful mess. Gotta clean this shit up. Ooh, actually, you know what? Maybe I won't, because I gotta do the timing cover. Oh, Jesus. So, this bastard is the timing cover. Look at this thing. Oh, I gotta clean it. Get it all spiffy again. So, we're going to, ooh, look at that cut up gasket there. Don't know what that's from, but don't care. Gonna throw that away. And we're gonna just start chipping away at getting this, this pan clean again. Get the majority of this side silicone off. Okay. Matt,
Yeah.
I need you to watch the stream and check for the frame rate because I thought the frame rate was doing good, but apparently it's not doing good.
Yeah, it's looking great. Wait. I think it's okay.
Look, so here's my hand. Then I'm gonna come, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna start working. And I think for whatever reason, the motion or the frame rate's really bad. I could be wrong, but I have on good authority that it might be. Oh yeah, I see in OBS that it is unhappy with the stream bitrate.
Oh.
Apparently I'm not able to sustain it.
What kind of internet you guys got out there?
Apparently not good enough. Fuck. We usually don't have a problem with it. Or if it's because it's Saturday night, maybe? Oh yeah, it's getting really bad. Oh, I'm sad. Well, I guess that's just...
Might have to
What do you think I should
lower
do?
bit. I was gonna say a lower bit rate, maybe.
And give up? What are you, new? I mean, probably. I really don't want to, though. They need to be able to see the glory that is the research engine. Oh. If it's still doing bad, let me know and I'll figure something out. Maybe you can do the Twitch stream relay on your end. You know what I mean?
Oh, maybe that is what's going on.
Because
Yeah.
I am uploading to Twitch at the same time.
Yep, you're doing it too. That actually might be it.
What I'll do is I'll go run upstairs and stop the Twitch stream if you want to relay it. Just tell me when, and I'll go do it.
Yeah. I need to... Hold on. I'll work on that on my end. I need to give you something to stream through.
Ah, don't work it now. upstairs. To stop the Twitch stream or something. Oh, and now it's magically doing great. No, now it's doing terrible. I'll be right back. I'm gonna see if it improves the bit rate at which I'm able to do this. Because I'm dropping a lot of frames. I don't know why I took my shoes off.
Alright, I'm gonna go get ready for bed. Good night, guys.
Ready? Take care, man.
See ya.
I don't think that fixed it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, still lots of dropped frames.
So that means it's probably the laptop.
What the fuck is this thing doing?
I don't know. Is it on, like, hardware encoding?
Yeah.
Huh.
Nope. There it comes again. I guess I can reboot my computer. I guess I'll do that. I'll be right back. Oh, Matty boy.
What's up, dude?
Are we watching the stream now? You may have to refresh the page.
Yeah, it looks like you're here.
How's the movement look? I'm gonna start moving back and forth.
What did you change? It looks really good.
Literally nothing. I'm just not streaming to Twitch anymore. I don't know if you heard me, but I'm not streaming to Twitch anymore. It's just
Oh,
YouTube.
okay.
Okay, this is definitely one of those royalty-free songs that I don't like. Dude, this is about as generic as fucking vanilla icing. Ooh. Fucking spicy ass potato chips. Yeah. Clean all this shit out. Ooh. Matt, what's your music of choice at the moment?
My music of choice, mostly electronic stuff.
Oh. What kind of electronic stuff? Like hardcore German clubbing? Yeah.
No. I don't know. More like modern stuff.
Clubbing German is modern. German clubbing, whatever.
Oh, I suppose you're right, actually. It's German clubbing, dude. That's what it is.
I knew it.
Nope. It's, no, I've been listening to some artists like Grabbits and Fairlane and Zed recently. That's pretty much what I listen to.
That seems pretty cool. I like electronic music. I think it's badass.
How bad was the RTV on the timing cover?
Just as bad, but it's really nice because I have lots of space and not a lot of crevices or spots that I'm worried about getting shit in.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
I got a lot more like room and space to do shit, so I'm not as afraid.
Yeah, you just blow it out after if you do, right?
Oh, I mean, I gotta blow out everything, but basically, yep.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
it's just the fact that I can get my hands in here and shit is what's important.
Yep.
Well, smoking some crack on my ding-a-ling, and freaking went to jail last spring for robbing a convenience store at night, 'cause I got too high on them drugs and lied, and I forgot where my license was. The police says, come on, son. I don't know. So much silicone. No. Okay, only got a few more places to go here. Knowing the factory that this piece came out of, dude, I am not afraid. Like literally first-hand experience. Fuck that junk. Actually, that's important stuff. Well, I wanted my woman to have a Cadillac, but she really wanted a Maserati. No, and then I went and got her the lunch, and then she wanted to go to for the steaks instead. I don't know. I'm trying to make fun of the generic blues song. Alright, my patience is wearing thin on 12 bar blues.
Wow, this is crazy how much cleaning you have to do.
Well, there's a lot of ball holes and a lot of silicone, and there's the kind of shit where it's like, oh, my remanufactured motor blew up after 8 months. Fucking spun a bearing because of oil starvation, RPV silicone. Got fucking sucked up. This is what people don't do. I'm not any special. I'm not special. It's just the difference between doing it right and doing it the quick and easy way. But I still gotta get all this cleaned up. Ah. Oh, wrong with this guy. When you're cutting this stuff away, it's like, go away, silicone. Nobody likes you. God, I got so many of these to do. Ah. Hell, depending on price, I'd just fucking buy a new one so I wouldn't have to clean it. But you don't even want to know how much one of these costs. Oh man, come on, fuck. Alright. Oh, there's so many to do. Can't complain about it, gotta keep going. got a decent amount of them. I'm getting there.
All right, I just sat down and I am back.
Oh, fine. I was just talking to nobody.
What were you saying?
No, I'm not telling you. I was talking to the other man. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't say anything.
Okay.
I'm just literally complaining about doing this. It's fine. I'm literally more than halfway done.
I mean, honestly, I probably would be too. It looks pretty tedious.
You shut up. You're a good programmer.
It's gonna be worth it though.
Hell yeah, it is. I'm gonna run the dog shit out of this. After all this work, she's gonna fucking take it and like it. How was your pizza the other night?
Pretty damn good.
Did you hork it down in one sitting?
Almost. Not gonna lie.
Jealous. I got pretty far on mine. I think I got like 2 slices left.
Yeah,
It's
almost
just
killed it.
Dankaroonie. Oh my god, there's just so much of this shit. No, easy. Oh, it sounds like I'm listening to a high school fucking jazz band. I gotta change it.
I turned up the stream volume. I understand your pain.
Oh, God, my back. Oh. Getting old. Oh. Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. Do I get a YouTube tag if I play other people's videos audio in the background? Is that a thing? Nah, because people watch other things.
And YouTubers, right? Public freaking stuff. Some people don't keep up with it. And I haven't really listened. But basically what's going down, here's the song.
What is this guy?
Nick, giant YouTuber, doing great, kicking some ass cheeky. You know, I've traveled with him, done comedy shows with him.
Oh, I don't know about that. What about the live news? I don't really watch the news, but I like clicking on random things. We'll let that play for a minute. See if anything... Motherfucker.
Huh?
See if anything exciting happens. Alright, anyway. I'm gonna continue doing this.
Good morning, glad to have you with us. I'm Savannah Sellers.
I'm Joe Fryer right now on Morning News Now.
God, I do not watch news.
Two major hurricanes.
Is the U.S. being drawn deeper into this conflict?
A new
Is
set
the
reveals that retired
U.S. doing this thing? I don't know. I'm too busy building a motor.
What are the questions that you hear the most when it comes to staying safe online? These weight loss drugs, are we concerned about long-term side effects?
lot going on in space.
Oh my gosh, Matt. Do you rot your brain with dumb shit like South Park?
I've seen a little bit.
Damn it. Well, keep away from that shit because I think you'd like some of the humor, but,
Tonight, the wildfires burning on both coasts, forcing rare evacuations in Pennsylvania. The fire there.
oh yeah. Did you hear about both sides of the country is burning?
Fighters battling to contain it.
No.
While in New York
So there's a whole bunch of California wildfires, and then there's a whole bunch of fires
rain finally comes.
up north.
Historic snowstorm crippling Colorado and New Mexico. Up to 4 feet in parts. Highways shut down.
That's unusual.
Rescued from cars.
Yeah, I don't know.
President-elect Trump now set to meet face-to-face with President Biden at the White House. What we know about the visit. New
Oh, who
details
gives
on
a
the
shit?
Iranian plot to kill Mr. Trump. Iran now
Oh my god, can we talk about something else? Now I know why I don't watch the news.
robot dogs. One of the last
Robot
in
dogs.
South Carolina captured, but where are the rest? The new frontier in medicine. Doctors beamed in by hologram. It's already happening, but does it work for patients? Princess Kate makes her first official appearance since battling cancer. And here comes Christmas. The Rockefeller Christmas tree has arrived.
Holy shit, look at the size of that Christmas tree. God damn.
This is NBC Nightly News.
Well,
Huh?
looks like they don't really got anything exciting to talk about, so that's at least
Fire erupting overnight. Residents forced to
nice.
firefighters now battling to contain it. But this isn't happening out west. It's happening on the East Coast, in Reading, Pennsylvania,
So in Pennsylvania,
with helicopters dumping water from above in a race to stop the fire from spreading. This was the scene in the heart of Brooklyn overnight. Yes, Brooklyn.
oh, and New York.
Fire as a brush fire
Oh
spread.
wow.
Right now, there are fires raging in New Jersey and in Connecticut.
And Connecticut, New Jersey, damn.
Right here, a brutal drought that's on pace to become one of the worst ever.
That's not good.
We begin tonight with George Solis on the fire lines in Reading, Pennsylvania. Tonight, raging wildfires throughout the Northeast have transformed vibrant fall scenery into hellish landscapes.
Trees and brush burning going up the hill rapidly.
Reading, Pennsylvania, an overnight inferno of about 170 acres in these mountains prompted the temporary evacuation of about 100 homes.
Because as far as safety, it's getting too close to our house.
Even with the winds dying down, hot spots like these are still a major concern. Firefighters heavily dousing these areas with plenty of water. Fire officials now hoping to catch a break from Mother Nature.
You know, Mother Nature, it doesn't always cooperate, or she doesn't always cooperate with what we need all the time.
New Jersey crews responding to around 40 fire calls in the last 2 days, including this one in Compton Lakes.
We're putting a lot of labor into putting these fires out. It takes a lot of water.
All overnight in Brooklyn, New York, firefighters rushing to contain a brush fire caused by heavy winds and dry vegetation in Prospect Park. This video from the Citizen app showing firefighters spending more than 3 hours fighting the fire. The smoke blanketing the iconic New York City skyline. In Southern California, this video showing water drops from one of the nearly 3,000 first responders battling the mountain fire, now 17% contained.
It was a matter of minutes. It was that quick. It was like a storm I've never seen before, just swirled into everything.
While some homes were spared, others were not. A chimney, all that's left standing from this home. Back east, tonight 27 million remain under fire alerts. The danger far from over.
Damn, that's crazy. There's a bunch of fucking fires. I'm telling you, man, fucking global warming, people made fun of that shit. Now it's gonna burn the whole planet up. Nobody listened.
Mr. Mansell is excited for just about any amount of rain. About half an inch is expected, and while it's not the heavy rains they hope for, they say they'll take whatever they can get to make sure they're going to be up ahead on this fire. Was that George Solis in Reading, Pennsylvania? Thank you. From fire to ice and snow. A dangerous record-breaking storm pounding parts of the west with blizzard-like conditions, and we're only a week into November. Dana Griffin.
That's so funny. They're talking about it's so cold and it's being blizzards, but then it's so fucking hot here.
More than 500 flights today have been canceled or delayed.
500 flights?
Service is calling to store. By the time this is all said and done, they're measuring it in feet.
It's the first significant snowstorm of the season, breaking records. Colorado Springs saw its largest November storm ever with at least 24 inches. The unprecedented Oregon Fall storm causing tree branches to snap and burn powder, and tens of thousands lost power. In New Mexico, unsafe weather conditions forcing highways to shut down and schools to close. Some areas saw a year's worth of snow. And on a lighter note, this grizzly bear at Colorado's Cheyenne Mountain Zoo taking in the winter wonder, catching snowflakes on his tongue. The winter weather whiplash, now one for the ages. Dana Griffin.
Oh, they'll be alright. A little bit of snow won't hurt nobody.
President-elect Trump has accepted President Biden's invitation to an Oval Office meeting next week. It isn't a symbolic step in the transition of power from one president to the next, a step that did not take place 4 years ago. Aaron Gilchrist, our details.
Tonight, America's transition of power begins. The White House announcing an Oval Office meeting between President Biden and President-elect Trump. Biden following through on his promise earlier this week.
On January 20th,
Don't they got something better to talk about? Damn.
here in America.
Trump and Biden spoke by phone on Wednesday. The president-elect describing the call to NBC's Kristen Welker as very respectful both ways. The invitation a return to tradition that Trump bucked, never inviting Biden to the White House after he won the 2020 election. Trump only agreed to an orderly and peaceful transfer of power back then after a violent mob of his supporters stormed the Capitol on January 6th. In 2016, that President Obama sat with Trump in the Oval Office, extending an olive branch after Hillary Clinton's defeat.
We now are going to do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you succeed, then the country succeeds.
Which will president-elect already choosing his campaign manager, Susie Wiles, as his new White House chief of staff, the first woman to ever serve in that role. Trump also favoring cabinet candidates who come from outside Washington and have business experience over members of Congress.
Oh, that's real smart.
Sources familiar with the process.
And Aaron, we have late breaking news on some former Trump administration officials who will not be joining the new one.
Jose, Trump just posted on his.
We should. I wish there was a news channel where it was just like engineering
Former Secretary of State
or like technology. You know?
and said he appreciated working with them previously.
One sec, getting the call.
Aaron Gilchrist in Washington.
No, you're good.
Iran is responding tonight to accusations it was behind an assassination plot against President-elect Trump. And we're getting a new look tonight at some of the new high-tech security around Mr. Trump to keep him safe. Marisa Parra reports from here, Mar-a-Lago.
New twists in a thwarted murder-for-hire plot targeting multiple people, including President-elect Donald Trump, alleged by the Department of Justice. The DOJ pointing fingers directly at Iran, whose foreign minister tonight called the accusations fabricated and a disgusting conspiracy. But the FBI has now charged 3 men.
This case is an example of yet another flagrant attempt by the government of Iran, not merely to silence those who speak out against them, but to take the lives of American citizens.
The 3 men charged, Carlisle Rivera and Jonathan Lodholm, arrested in New York, and Farhad Shakiri, believed to be at large in Iran. Shakiri allegedly told federal agents he'd been directed by an Iranian official of the Revolutionary Guard to surveil then-candidate Trump and create a plan to assassinate him. A spokesman for Iran's foreign ministry tonight called that story completely baseless. U.S. prosecutors say an American journalist was also a target for assassination by the same criminal network. Iranian-born Masil Nujad says she was that target.
I was invited to go to Fairfield University. The FBI came to my house the same day and warned me not to go.
Long openly critical of the Iranian government, Nujad vows she will not back down.
They want to kill me. That makes me more determined to give voice to Iranian women, Iranian men, fighting shoulder to shoulder to bring the wall of dictatorship down.
Following the 2 other assassination attempts against President-elect Trump during the campaign, security at his Mar-a-Lago home in Florida now at new heights. This robotic dog captured walking on its metal legs around the grounds, just feet away from armed guards patrolling by land and water. The Secret Service in Florida on alert in just over 2 months before Trump returns to the White House.
Marisa, back to that Iranian plot on President-elect Trump, why would the regime be so bold as to continue targeting?
Jose, that's a great question. The DOJ says part of the motivation is vengeance for the death of Qasem Soleimani. That is the Iranian military officer who was killed by U.S. drone strike during the Trump administration in 2020. Jose?
Marisa Parra in West Palm Beach, thank you. And join Kristen Rucker tomorrow morning for Meet the Press. Her guests, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders and Wyoming Senator John Barrasso. And now to the war in the Middle East. And a major setback today in the talks between Israel and Hamas. Now the country mediating those talks says it is out. Danielle Hamamdjian is in Beirut tonight. Danielle, how big of an impact is this?
Oh man, they're not talking about anything cool.
Qatar says both sides get serious about ending the fighting. It's the clearest sign yet negotiations are going nowhere. The Qataris, a small Gulf nation hosting talks between Israel and Hamas, putting out a statement tonight saying it's pausing its role as a mediator. In a sign of frustration, Qatar said it would not allow talks to be used as a cover to continue the war. This is a blow to hopes for peace, given the Qataris were key to the one and only ceasefire deal that saw some of the hostages released last year. However, Qatar said it would resume its role if both sides negotiated in good faith. Jose?
Danielle Hamamdjian in Beirut, thank you. Coming up, Princess Kate's royal return to official duties today after her cancer diagnosis. What Prince William is now saying about her battle. Also a major break in the race to capture those lab monkeys that escaped in South Carolina.
Whoa. Lab monkeys that escaped. That's wild.
Hey there, I'm Hallie, and we are coming on the air tonight with new developments. Let's talk about the implications on women's health and then the political fallout.
Oh no. I'm kind of done with the news. Oh, I gotta find something to listen to that isn't copyrighted.
keep talking so that Eiffel Tower starts sparkling.
Now you've laid down a gauntlet, so we have to continue to speak until it starts to sparkle again.
News lives in the now. Look at this. You can't even see anything.
Let's break down what we know.
You gotta see this. News for the generation of now is NBC News Now.
What's the message that you're trying to get out to young people?
No, what is in that supply?
We got important news this hour about your money.
Mental health, big picture. Why is it so tough right now?
News for the generation of now is NBC News Now.
The generation of now. Sure don't fucking feel like it, you bastards. Oh, let's click on something else. I'm kind of done with this.
A new study reveals that retirement balances are falling.
Five most.
Parts in the car, teams have always tried to stay ahead of the competition by manipulating the rules, leading to some pretty creative ideas.
There we
just to
go.
try and gain an extra tenth on the other cars.
Talk about cheating in
this video, I'll
NASCAR.
go over what I consider some of the most creative ways to cheat in NASCAR. And as always, if you enjoy, like and subscribe. 92% of my viewers aren't subscribed, so why not lower that number?
Well,
Anyways,
why
to the
not
video.
just watch
To
the
start off this
video?
list, we go back to the 1970s for a nitrous oxide cheating controversy. As being one of the easiest ways to induce a quick rise in horsepower, it's no surprise that it's had a history in NASCAR. The way that nitrous works is it's made up of 2 parts nitrogen and 1 part oxygen, and when injected into an engine, it means that more oxygen is available during combustion. Due to you having more oxygen, you can also inject more fuel, allowing the engine to create more power. Through the 1970s, this was a growing problem in the Cup Series garage, as many teams would use tiny 1 to 2 pound bottles of it hidden somewhere in their car, with many of the teams being forced to run it just to make the race, with some saying you couldn't make a race without it. Darrell Waltrip would say later in his career in 2000 that he'd been running nitrous oxide with Donnie Allison, and everybody knew it was under the dash. Another driver who was known to have used it was Dale Earnhardt, who used a tiny nitrous bottle under his seat that he would press during qualifying to help him make his NASCAR debut at Charlotte in 1975. The trend would continue, as at one point most of the teams, from back markers all the way up to the championship threats, would be running nitrous every week. Reached its tip during qualifying for the 1976 Daytona 500, when the 28 car of AJ Foyt and the 88 of Darrell Waltrip came out and were a second faster than the practice laps they were putting down prior, with Foyt winning the pole at 187 miles per hour, and Waltrip qualifying on the outside front row with a lap time of 186 miles per hour. NASCAR would end up taking the top 2 cars in qualifying and re-inspect them for nearly 7 hours that day, before the technical director at the time, Bill Gazaway, would come out and state that both the Waltrip and Foyt Chevys were set up for use of fuel pressure assist, which are not allowed. This came after finding a bottle of nitrous oxide in Darrell Waltrip's car, when Bill France threatened to tear apart the car piece by piece with a saw until they found it, leading to Waltrip's crew chief Mario Rossi getting nervous that they might cut into something and blow themselves up, forcing him to reveal it was hidden in the chassis tube. The 2 teams would be fined $1,000 each, and their qualifying times would be disallowed, along with a 3rd driver in Bruce Hill, who would also be caught using the nitrous. Hoss Ellington, the owner and crew chief of Foyt's car, stated, "Golly, I forgot about that. I put it in there 3 years ago at Trenton, and it's been in there ever since." But Waltrip would go on to state, "In Grand National racing, there are a lot of things you have to do to keep up with the competition. It's common knowledge that cheating in one form or another is part of it. If you don't cheat, you look like an idiot. If you do it and don't get caught, you look like a hero. If you do it and do get caught, you look like a dope. Put me in the category I belong." Next up is the most recent one in this video, being the Flexgate scandal. This discovery would famously come in NASCAR's Reddit in 2018, as following the spring Las Vegas race early in the season, a Reddit on the site would spot that the 4 car of Kevin Harvick had a flex in its rear windshield mid-race. Upon digging deeper, it was found that once the car reached top speed, the window flexed, but when under caution or simply parked, the window would go right back to normal. Using something outside of the traditional aluminum for the brace, allowing it to flex when a lot of pressure is put down on it, or when up to speed, giving it the caved look you see, while being noticeable to the other drivers on the track.
You know, right rear of that forward glass is bowed down? Yeah, kind of where the jack, between the orange jack screw and the black lining is bowed from the right side of the jack screw over. Right by the K. When he's up to speed, I think pushes down about, I don't know, 2 inches, 3 inches.
So what did the team gain from doing all this? Well, due to the window flexing down, it would direct more airflow to the spoiler of the car, helping it get through the corners better with more stability and speed. Obviously, it would help the car's performance, as when it was all said and done at the end of 400 miles at Las Vegas, it was Kevin Harvick in his car parked in victory lane, after a dominating performance on the race, sweeping both stages and leading the most laps, equaling up to a max point day. The car passed post-race inspection, but later in the week on Wednesday when NASCAR dropped the penalty report, it had the 4 team written all over it. Rodney Childress would state, "It's not something that we wanted to happen. You definitely don't want the back of the roof sharp. You want the back of the roof round, and you want that to be a smooth transition." I think that everybody thinks that it helps. I would suggest that it probably didn't help. However, NASCAR never felt this way. Finding crew chief Rodney Childress $50,000 and suspending car chief Robert Smith 2 cup races for a violation with a brace. Along with that, NASCAR took away 20 driver and owner points from Harvick for the L1 infraction, while also taking away all of Harvick's 7 playoff points he earned at Las Vegas. 5 for his win and 2 for his stage wins. But just 4 days later it wouldn't matter, as the 4 team was right back in victory lane, this time with a legal car.
On turn 4, Happy Harvick.
All right, I'm back.
Hey,
The last creative way to
glad you're back.
1992.
How much more you got on it?
Got a couple more bolt holes.
New era of the sport, leading to harder and cheating and more rules for the teams. NASCAR would introduce a spoiler angle rule into the sport, and this would impact the Leo Jackson 33 team, as they went from running up front consistently at super speedways prior to scratching their heads for speed during testing for the 1992 Daytona 500. But crew chief Andy Petrie believes that if you could find a way to get the spoiler to lay lower while the car was on the track, and get it back up before getting checked in post-race, it could lead to more speed for the 33, by creating less downforce. Petrie and a man who worked for the team in Dean Jones...
I actually don't have much at all. I'm about to take a break and then clean all this shit and bolt it on. I said clean, you know, spray and blow. No more scraping.
The machine that controlled shutting the trunk automatically when putting his groceries away. Petrie would take his car to the race shop immediately, and take the motor that controlled the trunk out of his street car, putting it straight into the car of the 33, which would end up being a perfect fit, leading to a spoiler that could now be adjusted by the driver. The spoiler worked by taking modified spoiler blades and putting them through pre-designed slots created by the team in the deck lid. A link would connect the spoiler to the machine that controlled it, and the team used silicone in the pattern of a welding mold to give it the appearance that it was welded in place. But really, it was free to move whenever the driver pleased. The spoiler was controlled with an extra switch added to the radio box, next to the driver inside the cockpit. But team owner Leo Jackson wasn't a fan of cheating, so to convince him to let the car run, Petrie would tell him if he could find the piece that controlled it, they wouldn't run the car.
I mean, if you cheat, you gotta do it right. You gotta really do it right. And so we spent hours and hours doing this. We sealed it up in the hinge part, you know, and all the stuff in the car. Everything's ready, put it on there, check. Okay, so Leo checks the angle, it's 45 or whatever the number was. And he goes in there, starts looking at switches, and he's ready for the check lid, and this, and that. I mean, he's all over the thing. And he said, I don't think it's on this car. I reached in there to the regular button. And it was supported.
Once the team was on the grid for qualifying, the next obstacle would be the newest director of the series, Gary Nelson, who was starting his first day on the job and did not want to let teams get away with cheating, hoping to crack down harder than ever. When the 33 got to the end of the line to go out for their run, Nelson immediately told them to knock down their spoiler degree before they could go. Petrie obviously was nervous, as he began to start tugging and pushing down on the spoiler, but it wasn't budging because of the links. Yet after finally getting it to barely move, Nelson would let the 33 car onto the speedway.
Yeah. So he takes Laconia is right close to the track. And I'm standing there at my stopwatch, gonna clock Harry when he comes back. And, you know, Gary's standing right there in front of me, checking the next track flow. I look at that car coming by and I think, oh.
Visually.
Oh, yeah.
It was flat.
Oh. And Gary didn't even look over there.
The deck lid and spoiler would do their job during the qualifying round, but there's no definitive evidence to show where he qualified. After the car was taken away after failing post-qualifying inspection, for the car being too low of all things. The deck lid wouldn't make it another lap around the speedway though, as the nervousness of being caught for an illegal spoiler during the entire speed week was too much for Petrie, who would end up just swapping back to the normal deck lid and finishing 12th in the 500. And that'll do it for this video. Let me know if you want me to make a part 2 of this, and comment below your favorite NASCAR shooting stories that I missed. Anyways, I'll see you guys for the next one.
Formula One, a sport like no other. This is
Formula One.
It's a human ability. It's about bending physics and chemistry to mankind's will. Exploration and experimentation, the twin pillars of human progress, have driven us from the first flicker of fire to the monumental moon landing.
Alright.
It's this unquenchable thirst for discovery and the urge to push
Look at that
boundaries
big pretty
all
bastard.
through history. This quest led us to conquer oceans, delve
Definitely going to. Oh, this guy makes good videos.
Driving one of these race cars, and this looks like the kind of guy that could hurt you.
He's gone.
At 8:40 a.m. this morning, Ernie Irvin slammed the second turn concrete wall.
Oh, shit.
One of NASCAR's brightest stars, Ernie Irvin, is clinging on to life in a Michigan hospital.
One of the most incredible comebacks in all sports history. Ernie Irvin, a 10% chance of surviving, but now he's back in a race car.
Ernie
Huh.
Irvin, he's back in victory lane.
Okay. I will be back in a few.
It is said that strength comes from pain. In that respect, Ernie Irvin is a very
yeah.
strong man. In his life, he's endured both
keep on going.
difficulty and success, and brought excitement to the racetrack with driving skills few possessed. Through it all, Ernie has survived as a testimony to his resiliency. Ernie Irvin was born January 13, 1959 in Salinas, California, much to the surprise of his parents. In his autobiography, Ernie wrote that his parents were told they could never get pregnant. After adopting 2 girls, Ernie was the first child they never expected to conceive. He was followed soon by a brother and another sister. The first tragic moment Ernie faced was when he was 3 years old. On the afternoon of November 21st, 1962, his 2-year-old brother David was playing in the driveway, got in his mother's car, and released the parking brake. When the car backed down the steep driveway, David fell out, and the car rolled over him. Tragically, David died before reaching the hospital. Ernie's father, Vic, owned an auto salvage yard. Known as Vic the Villain, he raced at short tracks in Watsonville, Merced, and Antioch. Ernie began racing go-karts when he was 8. Go-karts were how Ernie was introduced to Tim Williamson, who quickly became like a brother to him. By coincidence, Ernie and Tim were both born on January 13th, but Tim was 3 years older. Williamson was a great go-kart racer with many successes, including once finishing second to Ricky Rudd in a 1971 national event. As he moved into stock car racing, Tim worked in the Irvin salvage yard and built his race cars. Ernie made his stock car debut at the Stockton 99 Speedway in July 1975. In his early years of racing, Ernie's mentor was Ivan Baldwin, one of California's greatest short-track racers. With Baldwin's advice, Ernie won the 1977 track championship at Stockton. On Christmas Eve 1977, Ernie and his family were surprised to discover a note left by his father, saying he was leaving, moving to North Carolina. He had sold the salvage yard and used that money to take over as the promoter of Concord Speedway, a half-mile dirt track. Now 18, Ernie had to race without a father's guidance. Meanwhile, Tim Williamson was a few steps ahead of him on the ladder, and he made 5 starts that year in NASCAR's West Series. Tim made his debut in Stockton in April. Amazingly, he led all but 1 lap and won the race. Later that year, he won the pole at Sears Point. The following year, in 1979, was his rookie year in the series when he raced full-time. In July, Tim led every lap and won at Roseville. In August, he again won the pole at Sears Point, and was passed for the win with 2 laps to go. Ultimately, that would eventually cost him the championship, as he lost the title by just 5 points. But no one had ever finished that high in the points in a rookie year. Instantly, Williamson became one of the brightest prospects for NASCAR teams. Tim Williamson may well have been a driver destined for NASCAR championships. For 1980, he reached a deal to enter the Cup Series and compete for Rookie of the Year, driving an 18-race schedule in an Oldsmobile owned by J.D. Stacy and built by veteran crew chief Ruby Harrington. The first race of the season was on January 13th at Riverside. For that, he rented a car from Jimmy Insolo. Williamson would fly to Charlotte 1 day later to prepare for the Daytona 500. But before all that, there was a race for NASCAR's Grand American Series on Saturday. It was a short-lived series for modified late models that raced everywhere from short tracks to Daytona and Talladega and road courses. In January 1979, Williamson won the Grand Am race at Riverside. He won again when the series returned in June. He entered the January 12th race as the favorite to win again and qualified 4th.
Oh, man.
And qualified 12th. The track was wet at the start.
Yo,
Some
man.
laps were spent under caution to dry it before the green flag waved. On
He
lap
must be
11,
gone.
near the end of the S's, Williamson was touched by another car.
What's up?
Right off the track
Oh, I was
to the
gonna
right,
say,
on the wall with the right side.
Poor waifu
Early
passed out on the
across
couch.
line. Later said he didn't
Oh.
think the wreck was too bad. Then he saw a doctor performing CPR on Tim. And after finishing 3rd, Ernie was told that his best friend was dead. The following day, NASCAR officials said that Williamson was racing with his shoulder harness unhooked. They speculated that Tim unhooked his shoulder harness during the many pace laps and left only his lap belts on. That idea was disputed by all who knew Tim. He was very conscious of safety. Harrington even spoke of how Williamson asked for new seatbelts in his Daytona car instead of year-old ones. Ernie was outraged at how his friend's memory was overshadowed by something he didn't do. A few months later, NASCAR officials retracted the statement and said that he was wearing the harness, but that it had broken in the crash. Ernie continued racing at California short tracks until November 1982. He joined his father in North Carolina. He was soon followed by his mother, who reunited with his father. Once Ernie arrived, he got a job at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, welding seats into the grandstands. He began working for and living with Mark Reno, who he knew from California. They built late model race cars and started winning often.
The NDRA 6-cylinder World Championship came down to this pass. After battling for 41 laps, pole sitter Ernie Irvin gets around Brogy Broyles and hangs on over the final 9 laps to take the win.
I did a lot of things wrong. I mean, it's a wonder that I went to Cup racing now because I was about as rough as you can get on field pass, and when the race was over, if they wanted to fight, we'd do that too.
While Ernie was winning on dirt, Concord Speedway was paved in 1985. Wins came even easier. The idea then came to move up to NASCAR in 1986.
What do you think of having this on the stream, Matt? Where it's just, I got the phone and it's just a history video.
I mean, hey, I don't mind.
Rockingham and finished 35th, only running 29 laps because a crewman accidentally put a screwdriver through the radiator, costing another engine. Around this time, Ernie got married, and in April 1987, the couple's first son was born. In 1987, it was decided that the only way Ernie would get to the Winston Cup Series was if he and Mark Reno built another car themselves.
Well, we can consider this pretty much.
Through a few connections, entered the car for Patty Moise at Watkins Glen. Sometimes Ken Schrader and Dale Earnhardt would stop by Mark Reno's shop, and while the 4 of them were drinking beer at 2 in the morning once, they talked about how Ernie planned to run at Richmond in September. The deal was made, where they would put Earnhardt's new Chevrolet dealership on the car in exchange for parts and tires. It also gave credibility for Ernie. The defending Cup champion would put his name on a guy making his series debut.
And Schrader was going to be the negotiator in it. So we didn't get any money for the deal. We got some parts and some help and credibility. Schrader may have got the money. We don't know yet. He won't admit to it, but all I know is he left the shop with her, and we put her up there on Saturday. And we don't know. Knowing Schrader is probably true.
Ernie said that you put that deal together for him. Y'all rode by, and you lined up all the sponsorship that Earnhardt was going to pay for it. He says that he never got anything. He's claiming that maybe you got he said he got a few parts, and maybe you got 2,000 and kept it. That's not my contention. If you kept it, we won't air this if I get half of it.
Well, you know, I kind of thought that they must have got it and forgot to give me my percentage. You know, a normal deal, 10% or something like that, and I never got anything from them. They did give me some of the parts they got after they had been them, but they weren't much good to me.
Ken Schrader brokered it. Dale Earnhardt sponsored it. Ernie Irvan drove it. The car lasted less time in its first race than it took me to say all this. But it did last long enough for veteran car owner D.K. Ulrich to notice Irvan.
DK walked in and he said, man, he said, Dennis and drive my car at Wilkesboro, Martinsville? You know, me, I'm like, well, yeah, you need me to tow it up there too, you know? And so me and DK worked a deal out that I'd drive the car at Wilkesboro and Martinsville. And all DK wanted to do was get in the race and finish the race. Well, we did that in both races. I think we were 15th and 16th.
But it was good enough for D.K. Ulrich to hire Irvin full-time for the 1988 season.
Watch what happened to Ernie Irvan here later in the race. That's Phil Barksdall behind him. They touched. And Ernie Irvan went for one of the wildest rides in his first 125 miles.
And Irvan comes down just a little bit. Barksdall touches him, sends him in a spin.
The repercussions? Several cars involved. No one injured, thank goodness. But Ernie Irvan's hopes as a rookie come from California and make the 500. We'll have to wait another year.
And we have a spin here on the front stretch. Ernie Irvan and Ken Bouchard are involved in a wall banger.
Up until about June, I'd pretty much wrecked about everything DK had.
How many cars did Ernie wreck for me? Well, you know, we started in, must have been 87, I think we started. The first 10 races we went to, we lost 8 cars in the first 10 races that we went to. But when we, you know, we came to an agreement shortly after that, and we decided we were going to put Ernie in a body shop about 12 hours a day in the next few weeks if the trend continues what we were doing. And no, you know, seriously, we had a discussion about it and made some improvements on where he was looking on the racetracks that only ran in front of him. He looked way out in distance and, you know, be more prepared for situations when they came.
After a little discussion like that with the owner, a racer knows he's got 2 choices. Stop wrecking or start looking for a real job.
NASCAR and the Winston Cup Division here at Bristol International Raceway for the Valleydale 500 on this Sunday afternoon. And Ernie Irvan in car number 2 is going to be the leader.
Yes, he made a pit stop on the backstretch, made a good pit stop, got out before the caution car got around, and that is one of the advantages of pitting on the backstretch. If you can jump in before the front-running cars do and make your pit stop and get back out there, and that's exactly what Ernie Irvan did.
Well, Ernie was ready for that restart, wasn't he? Look at the jump he got on Alex Kowicki.
He has 6, 8, 10 car length advantage on Alan Kowicki now, but Kowicki beginning to move in just a little bit. Ernie Irvan, the leader of the Valleydale 500 with the Kroger sponsorship on that car.
Okay.
Having a glory day here at Bristol, out in front of the
I'm going to leave you guys with this and actually go check on my significant other. I will and get a snack, refresh my drink, I'll come back, and we should at least get the cam carriers on tonight, depending on how my wife is. I might go spend the rest of the night with her. I don't know. Kind of change of plans.
And watch how very, very close that Ernie Irvan comes to hitting the Larry Pearson car, and so too Greg Sachs. Look at this, though.
job of driving. Boy, he just kept that thing down on the inside. That is the sign of a good handling race car and the sign of a good driver.
It is Ernie Irvan in car number 2. Now, the 16 car of Larry Pearson is not on the lead lap, but Ernie Irvan still looking very strong here with Rich Wilson running in second spot.
of his career, really, as far as Mexican Cup racing is concerned.
Well, Ernie Irvin just sat down with the infield care center, and he is okay. That's the good news. Ernie, I want to tell you, partner, a super run today in that Kroger Pontiac.
Yeah, really, Bob Johnson had that car really working good, and, you know, we were kind of just biding our time trying to pick cars off as, you know, we could, and the car ran real good. We must have cut her tire.
You hit the wall pretty hard, and then you got tagged up there. I mean, did you have any warning at all the tire was going to go?
Well, no, none at all. I just, you know, heard it pop, and, you know, and then when it does that, there's nowhere you can do here. Hang on.
Irvin finished the 1989 season with 4 top 10 finishes, the most for the team since 1981. He was 22nd in points. Entering the 1990 season, the DK Ulrich team was looking for sponsorship. In December, it was reported they were in talks for partnership with Carl Haas, co-owner of the Newman Haas IndyCar team. It was said that he would bring Kmart and Amoco sponsorship to the team. But when that never happened, Irvin found another team.
Junie Donlevy has signed Ernie Irvin to run the full schedule, and they've obtained TrueCure adhesives as a sponsor. TrueCure will provide Donlevy with the most lucrative sponsorship he's had in 40 years of racing.
You know, the biggest problem is when you're low on funds is, you know, your equipment gets old, you can't buy new wheels, you know, you don't put on new tires every time. That's where this year we're going to be able to, you know, have new tires on when we're running good and be able to have wheels, you know, so you don't have wheel problem. You know, the engines will be better because you have more money to spend on them. Everything should multiply with money, you know, and hopefully the finishes from last year that I ran off a good end, hopefully we can multiply and even run better with Jimmy's car this year.
Unfortunately, it was too good to be true. Entering the Daytona 500, TrueCure never paid a cent. When Chad Little missed the Daytona 500, Bullseye Barbecue Sauce came on board Irvin's car. Ernie was also entered in the Busch Series race, but that year there were so many cars entered that they held a 100-mile qualifying race to set the last 10 cars on the grid. On the last lap of this qualifier, Ernie went from 3rd to 1st, passing Michael Waltrip and Hut Strickland to take the win. In the main event on Saturday, Ernie barely avoided a major crash and finished 7th. In the Daytona 500, he finished 13th.
Trouble on the backstretch, car spinning. Number 90 car is involved. That, of course, is Ernie Irvin.
The sponsor search remained unsuccessful. By early March, Jimmy Donlevy acknowledged he may have to shut down his team. In an interview, Donlevy called Ernie, quote, a prince of a driver. That boy is a driver. Dang, he's such a good driver. That boy has a driving ability to be great. The way he's driving, he can compete with them if I can get him some horsepower. Then, after only 4 races, Bill Parsons was released from the Morgan McClure team. Originally, entering the 1990 season, Irvin had been their first choice. Now they had a second chance to get him.
A couple of guys that moved up just in those first 3 laps of green. Ernie Irvin moved up from 30th to 16th, and Kenny Trader from 14th up to 9th. Ernie Irvin with a great race, started way back, and is up running in the top 10 as well.
And this is Ernie's first race in that 4 car. My brother Phil was driving that car until a couple of weeks ago, and he was released. Ernie took over the ride and looks pretty good today.
He's looking super in that car.
Ernie Irvin, in his first time in the Oldsmobile number 4, started 30th. He's in the top 10. I think he's running 7th at the moment. Tony Glover is his Jersey. He's looking right now to catch the time as Ernie goes by, and he's relaying that time now to his driver as he heads into turn 1. Tony, this is a terrific way to start this race. You've got to be delighted. Yeah, we're pretty happy right now. We got a long way to go, though. They're optimistic early, but what a sensational run for Ernie Irvin in his first time in this car number 4, Paul.
And good news for this guy, Ernie Irvin. He started in 30th. He's now got the lead of the race. So with those stops, Ernie Irvin moves up into the top in his Oldsmobile. The Chevrolet of Dale Earnhardt now begins to wind up for the final time. And Earnhardt picks up the checkered flag as everybody scrambles in a battle across the line to finish this race.
Paul, the motto for this team this weekend was go get 'em Earn, and in his first ride in that number 4 car, what a drive. From 30th to 3rd, congratulations on your best ever Winston Cup finish.
I tell you what, you know, I owe it all to the guys in the crew and the guy that builds the motor, you know, Runt, and all the guys that shop did a hell of a job. That was a, you know, an awful good run for us, and, you know, I owe it all to them because I just drove my normal race. That car made me that far up.
Now, was this a show-me opportunity? Do you think you've earned yourself a spot in this car for future races?
Well, We discussed it before the race, and, you know, he just wanted me to go out and do the best job I could, and he knew what kind of job I'd done in the cars I was in before, so he knew if I did that type of job in this type of car that we'd be a front runner, and that's the way it turned out.
It was something a driver dreams of. Immediately after Atlanta, Irvin signed a 5-year contract to drive for the team.
Well, here comes Ernie Irvin making a bid for second place. He goes to the inside of Bodine. They touch coming up the corner. Irvin's going to lose it right here on the lane straight away. Irvin spins down the front stretch, and I don't think he's going to hit a thing. Not yet anyway. And he saved it. He's going to make the camera dizzy with that spin.
Well, he had a serious vibration in the car, and they were working on the car, in the front end of the car. Apparently, they may have had a hose come up. There looked to be a lot of oil up inside the engine compartment, and apparently that's what happened.
The problem is, Jerry, the vibration of bringing the car all the way around the racetrack with a flat tire tears those fittings apart.
After repairing a broken oil line, Ernie returned to the race 10 laps down. Over the radio, car owner Larry McClure told him, "You go out there and make these laps up. We can do it." For a driver in his second start for a new team, Ernie was eager to prove himself as a front runner.
When we get ready for the restart, Ernie is side by side with good old buddy Ken Schrader. This is where Irvin makes a major miscalculation. He thinks Schrader knows or cares what lap the guy next to him is on. He knows I'm 10 laps down. I got 4 tires, he's got 2. I mean, this ain't going to be a problem. I'm going to get a lap back real easy because he's going to let me go. So we take off on the green, we drive into turn 1. Man, Kenny's still out there. You know, we drive off turn 2, he's still out there, he's running. We drive into turn 3 where you don't run in side by side. So we go through there side by side. And we're crushing. We're running fast, and Jeff Woodhide's behind us trying to work on us. And so we ran that whole lap side by side. We ran a whole nother lap side by side. And in the meantime, I probably should have backed off because it's like, I realize now Kenny must not think I'm a lap, 10 laps down. He must think I'm more on his trying to lap back. Now, I didn't think all this was happening. I think it now. But at the time, all I could think of is, okay, they said drive the wheels off of it. I'm driving it, you know.
Meanwhile, these guys are still side by side. This is a lap and a half.
Ernie Irvin trying to battle back and get one more lap.
Oh, he's loose again.
Here they go. Bodine's going to be involved, I believe. Several cars are going to get tangled up in this mess. The track is going to be completely blocked. And so did Earnhardt. There is Ernie Irvin. As his car.
Wow, it's a mess this time.
It is badly, badly damaged.
The crash resulted in thousands of dollars in damage to machinery. But more importantly, it resulted in an injury to Neil Bonnet. Watch again in slow motion and you can trace Bonnet's path through the crash. With other cars all around him, his Wood Brothers Ford is unable to move from a course that takes him into Sterling Marlin as his number 94 Oldsmobile careens off the wall. The impact knocks Bonnet unconscious. Later in the day, while undergoing tests at a local hospital, Neil begins suffering from amnesia. In the early part of the week, Neil suffered from a total loss of memory, unable to recognize even his wife. Now, amnesia is a condition that can clear up in a short period of time, or it may never clear up. No one really knows.
When I see that, I'll be the first one to tell you, standing in front of this camera and not in that race car is not where I want to be. But I'll also be the first one to tell you I don't have any animosity to any driver on a racetrack for an accident. That's racing. You're going to put cars in places they shouldn't be at times. But when you're real careful, you don't win a lot of races. I don't have any animosity toward Ernie. Matter of fact, he's proven that he's a winner.
On the pole, his first at Winston Cup competition, it's the 6th pole winner of the year, Ernie Irvin from Modesto, California. He'll drive the number 4 Kodak-built Oldsmobile.
Now here's a battle for the lead again as Ernie Irvin has decided he wants to take back the lead. He and Jeff Bodine move side by side into first and second turns. Jeff Bodine hangs on and Ernie Irvin is going to spin down the backstretch.
And he spins to the inside of the racetrack. Let's see, is the caution coming out? Not yet.
Speaking of mixed emotions, let's put this guy on the spot. Ernie Irvin is on the pole in the car from which this man was released after 3 races this year. You must have mixed emotions about that. Well, I I do, Dave, but see, if I was in that car on the pole, then I wouldn't be able to be up here with you for 3.5, 4 hours. What a sacrifice.
Ernie Irvan is no stranger to the front row. Just a few weeks ago in Charlotte, North Carolina, a special consolation type of event, the Winston Open, he was on the pole there. Last week in Sonoma, California, he sat on the outside pole. Bristol, Tennessee, he was on the pole. Today he's on the pole for this one in Pocono. You keep starting up here. We just got to finish one up front.
I tell you, that's what we're working towards. Getting our qualified program down real good. Our race program's getting awful good too. Tony Glover, the crew chief, is trying to coach me into winning a race. We got the car capable, we got the crew capable. Now he's working on getting the driver capable.
Your driver, car number 4. This is the newcomer, Ernie Irvan, knocking on the door.
No driver, as you said a moment ago, has ever won his first race here at the Michigan International Speedway, but he is strong.
There you see Earnhardt trying to take it away. The man in black closing right up in there.
Earnhardt is an intimidator, and if Ernie Irvan can sustain that and go on and win this race, he will establish himself as a top Winston Cup driver.
To the inside goes car number 3. You're watching it live on CBS for Michigan 400. Here comes Dale Earnhardt. Great Winston Cup champion fighting with this youngster. He has him on the outside. The black number 3 rolls down. On the outside, Ernie Irvan. He came out of California from Mark Martin's car. Watch this man. Now here's Irvan trying to come to the inside. Beautiful move. Gets down to this. White flag is up. Last lap. 4 cars under the flag. Going to the turn number 1. Ernie Irvan peels off. Tries to move below number 3. White there. Dale Earnhardt. Checker is about to be extended. And this, the Michigan 400, belongs to Dale Earnhardt. He is tough, and so is Ernie Irvan.
Ernie drove a tremendous race here today. He doesn't need to drop his head. He don't need to hang his head. He's doing a great race.
In January of 1990, you didn't have a ride, didn't have a deal for the season, didn't know what you were going to be doing. Here you are in Michigan, just inches short of victory circle. Things have really turned around for you. Are you surprised that it's happened the way it has?
Well, I was surprised. Ended up with no ride towards the end of the year and start in January, but things have come out real good. And just proves to show that you keep trying and trying hard, things will come your way.
1990 was a breakout year for Ernie. In July, crew chief Tony Glover said, quote, "He's the best new talent to join this circuit since Tim Richmond. He has all the natural tools you just can't teach."
Always an enthusiastic crowd here at Bristol International Raceway as we get set to bring you live coverage of the Busch 500 Winston Cup race on this Saturday night. Back at Bristol, and here is Ricky Rudd moving to the inside of Dale Earnhardt in the 4th turn, trying to get one of 2 laps back. Ricky is 2 laps down because, and here comes Ernie Irvan now battling Dale Earnhardt for the lead down the backstretch. Let's see who wins this race to turn 3, and Ernie Irvan has the spot. Ernie Irvan leads the Busch 500. Here comes Irvan off the corner, 15, lap number 498. 2 laps to go. Rusty Wallace looks inside. No, he can't make the pass. Will Ernie Irvan hold on for his first Winston Cup victory? He's coming down to the white flag. 1 more lap to go on this .533 track. There's the white flag from Dara Ford. 1 more lap to go. Let's watch this final lap and see if Ernie Irvan can hold off the challenge of defending Winston Cup champion Rusty Wallace, who won his first race here at Bristol. Ernie Irvan, it appears, is going to. There he is, up the 4th corner. Yes, Ernie Irvan wins the Busch 500. Look at this group. The Kodak Morgan McClure team. Oh, man. Now those guys happy. And Ernie Irvan from Modesto, California, has finally done it. He has come close this year. He has run so well since taking over this ride. And now it pays off with his first Winston Cup victory.
I tell you what, I thought Bristol was tough. They were running in the back. It's locked up running in the front. You can't make a mistake, I had a little bad luck, but we kept pressure. Then Rusty were on the air. We're both loose. I was making a lot of mistakes. I have to hang up.
Ernie's aggressive style earned him the nickname Swervin' Irvan. According to a 1990 interview with Ernie, he got that nickname from Jimmy Means, who was angry after an aggressive practice session at North Wilkesboro.
Ooh! Boy, off that corner. Boy, Ernie is really getting off the fourth corner and getting momentum down the straightaway. This time he passes Dale Earnhardt. Will it stick?
Remember when Dale Earnhardt used to sponsor some of Ernie's car to give him some help so he could race? Yep. Dale might have been a mistake. Should have sent that boy back to California.
Welcome back to the Winston Cup Awards banquet from the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. Ernie Irvan is receiving an award from STP. Let's go down to the stage.
There were three names you always heard: NASCAR, Winston, and STP. STP and NASCAR, racing go hand in hand. What else can you say about a company that has been involved in motorsports longer than I've been alive? Dick, on behalf of all the NASCAR drivers, the ones on this stage tonight, and the thousands of NASCAR drivers in all divisions elsewhere, I just want you to know how much we all appreciate what you and STP have meant to us. We sincerely appreciate your support of our sport. Thank you.
A driver that really matured in the 1990 season, Ben.
Unbelievable. And there's another driver that next year might be at the head.
Watch out, yeah.
To demonstrate the superior color of new Kodak Gold 400 film, just open a box. It has the richest, most vivid color available in a high-speed film. New Kodak Gold 400. Fast film. True colors.
With a win under his belt in the eye of a tiger, Ernie Irvan headed into Speed Weeks 1991, his first full season with Morgan McClure Racing, and with one thing on his mind: winning. But many challenges would lie ahead for him and his Kodak Films crew. The first, qualifying for the Super Bowl of stock car racing, the Daytona 500. During practice runs, Ernie had been clocked as one of the fastest of the 59 cars that would eventually take to the track and attempt to secure the front row starting positions for the coveted Crown Jewel. With no room for error, his run is nothing less than picture perfect. 46.003 seconds. His speed, 195.639 miles per hour.
Let's look at that starting order right now with Allison there, Ernie Irvan in second. For just a moment, let's talk about newsmakers here. And if there is one newsmaker for sure, it's the man in black. Number 3, Dale Earnhardt. Along press row, everybody's saying he is the man to beat. He's looked invincible thus far this weekend. Earnhardt stays up in front. Irvan second, Kyle Petty third, Rusty Wallace fourth. Kyle Petty moves in, closes up, picks up a draft with number 4 and tries to close on number 3.
Yeah, you wonder, is Earnhardt running out of gas? He pulled to the inside to sort of block them, but maybe that was just a move to keep them from trying to draft by on the inside.
Out of turn number 4, Kyle Petty looks outside. Here they come from Earnhardt's vantage as they come to the line, switching back and forth. It is Petty, but it's Earnhardt to the line first. Ernie Irvan in second, Kyle Petty in third in the second 125-mile qualifier.
It looked easy. Didn't look like Ernie had much for you there at the end. Were you concerned at all?
Well, even Kyle hooked up that last lap and drafted up to me down the backstretch. Ernie bumped me a little going in 3 there, sort of wiggled me, but we got through there okay.
Ernie Irvan will start the 500 from the front row, but today's race. What do you think? You had the best view in the house. Have we seen all Dale Earnhardt's got?
Well, yeah, I think that's all he's got. You know, he's like us. He wasn't handling, we weren't handling, so, you know, it slowed our speeds down about a half a second, so it enabled a lot of other cars to run with us. But I think come the 500, we're both going to get our cars handled a little better, and I think we're both going to be awful tough to beat.
So we haven't seen all Ernie Irvan's got.
Well, you know, it was all we had for the day. You know, with some chassis adjustment and things like that, I think we got a lot more left in the car. And, you know, if we can come back and do that, this Kodak Film, Delco, Remy, Chevrolet, AC spark plug cars will run off good.
All right, that's everybody. Let's go back to Ken Squire.
Now let's see who everybody likes down here for the 500. And first, let's go to Dave Despain.
Hey, Ken Pick, it's easy when the fastest guy's got the fastest car. Give me Dale Earnhardt, but with a reserve choice. If Lady Luck kicks Dale in the pants again tomorrow, Ernie Irvin will take home the money.
But the general consensus among everybody here is Earnhardt's in there. Petty probably the dark horse. How about it, Chris? Who do you pick?
The burning question here is unanswered. Who can beat Dale Earnhardt? I'm an answer I think will win the race. I don't think anybody can beat Dale Earnhardt, Ken.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Passing already starting, going into turn 3. There's Earnhardt moving up on Ernie Irvin. He isn't going to waste much time, Ken, trying to go to the front.
That's what we may see all day. That car runs on a rail on the bottom of the racetrack. Earnhardt on the bottom for second.
Shaking his fist at somebody already. With new pit road rules that allowed only minor adjustments and fuel to be added under caution flag conditions, the Kodak crew finally brought number 4 in for fuel during the 4th yellow of the day. But not having fresh tires took its toll through lap 84. That's when Ernie got fuel, right side tires, and revived opportunity. Ernie then steadily clawed his way to the top, and by lap 125 had taken the lead. But by lap 132, more gas and 4 tires were needed in order to notch his way back to the front. Ernie drove harder than he had all day.
Ernie Irvin's number 4 now takes the lead, lapping Bobby Hamilton. Here you see Irvin. The Morgan McClure Chevrolet still out in front. Won his first Winston Cup race just a year ago. But he's going to win a lot more. The guy is good. Coming down the line, ready to take green. Final moments, 500. 188 laps complete as they come to the strike. 12 to go. And it's Wallace, Waltrip, Earnhardt, Irvin. Here comes the man in black. Earnhardt to the inside. Trying to win the race he's never won. 48 Winston Cup victories. Car on the wall. Wallace slams the wall on the outside. Another car breaking loose. Derek Cope spinning to the line. And Darrell Waltrip in the pits.
Yeah, Darrell Waltrip.
Oh, Derek Cope. 4 more cars right here at the start finish line. Oh, blowing tires. Caution is out.
There's that lack of a gear hindering Kyle Petty and Ernie Irvin slightly as Dale Earnhardt really jumps into a lead. And then
7 cars in that lead lap. Earnhardt stays first. Ernie Irvin in second. Here's Davey Allison coming up to third. Kyle Petty in fourth. Now Kyle drops back and it's Joe Ruttman into fourth. Look at this run down the inside. Car number 4 sliding through and Ernie Irvin planks it in there. Davey Allison up on the outside. Davey Allison makes a run on Earnhardt for second place. The 4 to the high side. Chevy on the inside and Chevy out in front. Ernie Irvin. Is this going to be an upset? We'll see. 28 and 3 are locked up side by side, and as they run wheel to wheel, Ernie Irvin says, "Goodbye, gang," and pulls 3 car lengths out in front.
Well, yeah, I think something wrong with Earnhardt's car. He and Davey Allison touch going down the backstretch into turn 3. Earnhardt trying to hang on, but...
And look, they're still locked side by side.
And of course, that's just playing right into the hands of Ernie Irvin.
Irvin was slow coming up through the gears on the restart. Crew chief Tony Glover said he thought he hung back a little too far. But every time the 2 black cars come past side by side, that's a break for Ernie Irvin's chances to win the 500.
And there's trouble off the turn 2.
Ernie Irvin's, Ernie Irvin in front and Earnhardt.
Davey Allison, and then Dale Earnhardt, Davey Allison, both out of this race.
Ernie Irvin's number 4, streaking across the line. Rest of the field coming by. Tony Glover.
Boy, he can't contain himself, and I don't blame him. This is it. This is the biggest.
Oh, what?
Ernie Irvin coming to the line and will win the 33rd annual 500 at about 55 miles an hour. Thank you. Hand out and waving. Irvin in this surprising, unbelievable finish to the 500.
What's it feel like?
Man, I don't know, man. When we come across, I looked in my mirror, saw Dale and Davey get sideways. I remember there was like 98 laps, 2 laps left. I said, this can't be true. I just kept waiting for them guys to run me down, and then when we had to just live off the caution. Then we come around and it started running out of gas on the caution. I said, nah, this can't happen to me. Got down the apron and it kept running. But man, all of this crew, this Kodak film, Delco Remy Chevrolet, AC spark plugs, I mean, they did an excellent job in the pits. You know, the ultimate win is the Daytona 500. Everybody in the garage there has shot for this all their life, and I feel real fortunate for my first year in a full-time ride with a major backing with Kodak to be in Victory Lane now. And I get all the credit. The team did all the work, so I'm giving them all the credit.
While his career had reached the pinnacle of stock car racing, Ernie's personal life was filled with pain. In his biography, he wrote, quote, I started out the 1991 season in great emotional upheaval. I was living a nightmare out of a bad country and western song. Before the season, Ernie's wife filed for divorce and moved into a studio apartment. Just 2 days after winning the Daytona 500, she gave birth to the couple's second son, but there was little joy to be had. In March, Ernie met a woman named Kim, and they soon began dating. Part of the reason his marriage failed was that his wife had been cheating on him. Kim suggested that he run a DNA test to confirm that he truly was the father of his 2 sons. Then came the devastating news. He wasn't the father of either. Within months, he lost his wife, 2 sons, and would face the very public criticism of his fellow racers.
Tremendous side-by-side racing in a crash. Mark Martin's car lifts off the ground but does not go over. But this crash is going to involve several cars.
You see Hut Strickland in the mud there.
And Ernie Irvin got into Kyle Petty. That was the first thing that happened.
How is Kyle?
He's got a leg broken right in half. He popped like that.
Other than the okay spirits, what did he say to you?
Can't say it on national television. He said Ernie Irvin just got out of control.
He had the left side tires down where you just don't go. Oh, spin! Hut Strickland. A massive crash coming on turn number 3. Hut Strickland and Ernie Irvin were battling for the lead in turn 3.
They're coming off the corner, and Ernie runs up and just touches the 12 car in the back enough to send him spinning.
It seems wherever Ernie Irvin goes these days, controversy follows. Darrell Walton.
I see a young man with a
I'm almost back. I mean,
Saturday night racing,
to get,
but it just isn't going to fly here in Winston Cup. I hope I'm not the only driver that's going out on the line or out on the limb and saying how I feel, but I don't want to get hurt driving one of these race cars any more than anybody else does, and this looks like the kind of guy that could hurt you.
I think it's to the point maybe NASCAR needs to take a look at it. It seems like he comes out, he doesn't get wrecked. I like Ernie, think he's a good guy, but I'm getting tired of getting swept up in all his accidents.
The biggest problem with Ernie Irvin is he has a lot better equipment than he's a driver. That's number 1 problem. Number 2 problem, the boy can't tell the truth from a lie. You know, if you look through the accident he caused here in Talladega and the one in Pocono, both times he denied that he had anything to do with it. You know, Ray Charles could see that he caused both of his accidents, and why he's not man enough to come and admit that he made a mistake and just and pass the fences with everybody else, I don't know. Keep denying all he's doing and making it work for everybody.
Between the crash at Talladega and the crash at Pocono, Swervin' Irvin
Crash at Pocono
lost the respect of many in the garage and needed to earn it back quickly.
I've talked to a few of the drivers this week and some of the car owners, and I've lost a lot of respect. I've lost the respect of a lot of drivers and a lot of car owners in this garage area, and that hurts. I've drove a little bit over aggressive some. I'm going to work on trying to be a little more patient and want to earn everybody's respect back. I like to be liked in the garage area, and appreciate maybe if you guys give me a shot at it. And I definitely want to be everybody's friend in here.
But I tell you, it took a lot of nerve to get up and say that in front of all the drivers. But he has had quite a bit of criticism. He's a great race driver, has a great future ahead of him. Chris, you were at that
Friday, last with my Ernie Irvin, I expect to see a change.
Rusty Wallace was saying after that, he walked up to Ernie and they walked out of the meeting and said that was a good start. It'll probably take them about 2 years to get it.
Well, Rusty knows. He had an image one time to overcome himself.
Today, live from Watkins Glen.
Live from Watkins Glen.
At the Glen Winston Cup race.
The field took the green flag and the battle was on. Throughout the race, Ernie battled with Rudd, Wallace, Davey Allison, and Mark Martin in one of the most exciting road course races in years. In the closing laps, it was clear the smooth work by his crew and his talent on the track had made Ernie the man to beat. On the final lap, Ernie faced his final challenge as Mark Martin tried to make a move in turn 1. But Martin looped the Folgers forward, taking himself and the third place car out of the picture. Ernie Irvin took the second flag by 7 seconds over Ricky Rudd. It was his second win of the season and moved him back into third place in the point standing.
Whoever said you were a road racer, congratulations. You did a good job at Sears Point. You did a great job today.
I faked them, didn't I? They didn't know I could road race. We didn't either when we got here, but you know, just it takes a good race car. And we had a good one today, and same car we ran at Sears Point with. It ran well out there, but with just the guy not really in the limelight all day. But you know, today we were in the front all day, and I just went out in the front. Second time this year since I've been leading a road course and spin out. Did that with my Busch car here, but you know, they just gave me a good race car with all the Kodak, Chevrolet, Duck Remy, and AC spark plugs. And without them and without all the support from my crew, we couldn't do this. And you know, we had a whole grandstand full of people down there in turn 2, and they all got to see all them guys spinning in the last lap. And you know, it was like, I don't think I can screw this last lap up with nobody on the same straightaway. And I still missed a gear. So, you know, I am not no road racer. I just have the luck out.
Finishing 5th in the standings is Ernie Irvin.
I wouldn't be standing here right now if it wasn't for Tony Glover and Larry McClure taking a chance on putting a driver in the car that didn't have a lot of experience. And we keep building. We finished 95 points for Game 4 this year. So if we Game 4 next year, we'll be sitting up here where Dale is. Congratulations, Dale and Teresa, on your great job this year. Thank you.
1991 was a rewarding but difficult year. Ernie later wrote, quote, "I was extremely angry with my wife and felt very alone, except for my great friendships with members of my race team. You couldn't have written a soap opera during that period of my life that was as confusing and complex as what I was going through. It was not an easy time in my life. I spent a lot of time feeling confused and hurt. Consequently, I was a bundle of emotions all through the 1992 season. Sometimes it was hard for me to stay focused. Too often, I had difficulty concealing my irritation and controlling my anger."
We got a battle for the lead. Got the shower just moments ago. And they're about to make it 3 wide off the banking. Ernie Irvin down to the inside of number 4. Storms into the lead, the back straight. Ernie Irvin out of it. California hits. He's into Elliott. They're sliding, trying to correct. Picks them up. Into the wall goes Sterling Marlin. And the leaders are all in trouble here. Richard Davis getting hit.
Before the cars were warmed up, the biggest crash would take place. A 12-car pileup in turn 1. The most serious injury came to Ernie Irvin, who broke his collarbone as he was hit by Ward Burton.
Ernie Irvin, only 2 hours out of the hospital, pulled the car to pit run. Now, what they did before the start of engine, they practiced this driver exchange to try and get it done as quickly and expeditiously as possible. Irvin still hurting with the collarbone. He is out of the car, as you can see, and now Labonte gets in.
And the clutch was not working. He cannot shift the car. He was in first gear, having to run less than about 60 miles an hour around here.
Davey Allison just blew going into turn 3 to Ernie Irvin, and Darrell Walker, Darrell might have escaped maybe with not too much damage to his Chevrolet.
The crew, it's about a surprise to the wheel to see Ernie Irvin suddenly slow and come behind the wall. So once again, speculation has to be that maybe something in the rear gearing, an axle problem, maybe a drop, but like we saw, Alan Kawicki could be a problem.
After 9 races, Irvin was just 23rd in points. He responded with 3 straight top 5s at Talladega, Charlotte, and Dover. Then it was on to Sears Point, where Ernie put on one of his greatest performances.
Ricky Rudd is on the
pole. The second, Ernie Irvin from Modesto, California, in the Kodak Film Chevrolet Lumina number 4.
I'm so sorry.
Well, it was obvious that he was well out in front of the rest of the pack, including the pole sitter Ricky Rudd. And yes, indeed, the number 4 Kodak Film Chevrolet comes in for a pit stop. This is a stop and go for Ernie Irvin.
They were trying to talk to Ernie, trying to keep him cool, saying, don't worry about it. That thing's happened now. He's away, headed back to turn 1.
And the final car goes by him. He now drives at the tail of the field. Ernie Irvin starts with one flag that now has to go to the end of the field.
Okay, got to pause this to get the service manual, and then I'm going to come over here and start bolting this thing up.
Can't do it there. Out of turn 4, they'll have one more shot at the tri-oval at Ernie Irvin. Earnhardt comes down. Walter goes right down to the track apron and heading for home. Give it to Irvin. They are 3 wide for third.
You know, me and Dale kind of pinched each other in that first turn, but I made it out of it.
190-mile-per-hour chess game. Here they come to the tri-oval. Down to the final lap. The first die-hard 500 victory.
All right, Mr. Lane, if you're there.
Yeah, what's up?
I think I'm going to head out for the night.
10-4.
Ernie Irvin scoring his 3rd win of the season.
I wish you an easy path to putting this thing back together here, man. Are you planning on getting these heads on tonight, or?
Well, the heads are already on. I'm doing the cam covers now. Yeah.
You know,
Oh, damn. Okay.
follows Earnhardt's path.
That's fantastic.
That Earnhardt drives.
Yep.
She looks really shiny on the engine stand, dude.
Well, yeah, I know, right? Isn't it pretty?
It's pretty. It's like you went and got yourself a brand new engine.
Oh, it is. Brand new to me, at least.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet, man. Well, I wish you good luck tonight and Godspeed, sir.
Oh, yeah, man. I'll hit you up tomorrow, eh?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Alright, buddy. Have a good night. Peace.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
All I hear is these yahoos driving up and down the street. I will bust them.
Irvin's relationship with Davey Allison was complicated. Following the Michigan run-in, NASCAR went to Indianapolis for a tire test. Ernie and Davey had to be separated in the garage. They loudly argued over the crash.
But for the last 3 years here, he has earned more.
See the 4 car, and all of a sudden the car just goes around. He loses control when he saves it and comes back right in front of Davey Allison. I think that was the only 2 cars involved in the crash.
Image car of Ernie Irvin now is removed from the front straightaway right at the start-finish line here in Atlanta.
Despite losing the championship, Davey stayed in the infield care center until he checked that Ernie was okay. 1 week after the race, Ernie and Kim were married.
Earnhardt, Jarrett, Irvin.
There are 58 laps left in this race. Ernie Irvin, Tony Glover, and Jamila Pippen and their crew feel they can go the distance from here. Barely. So they brought Irvin in now.
And there's trouble on the backstretch.
Alright, which cam carrier do I got here? We got left hand or right hand? That's got an L. That makes me think it's left and right. Let's look at this one. Over here. Okay, that's fine. Some scrap wood I've got.
Off of turn number 4, flyover once again. Dale Earnhardt leads Rusty Wallace as the white flag comes out. One more lap to go, and Martin is way up high and hits the wall and shoves Rusty down to the middle of the track.
I never remember. Oh, wait a minute. It'll tell me in the picture of the service manual. Okay.
He's going with Ernie. Here they come off the 4th corner. Ernie Irvin leads him down now. Is he going to win the Winston 500? Jimmy Spencer is second. They come through the tri-oval. Checkered is waving. Ernie Irvin wins, and Rusty spins and gets airborne. And flips wildly.
Looks like this is the left hand.
At Daytona.
Man, I tell you what, when it comes down to shootout, I wouldn't trade Ernie Irvin for anybody in the world. I tell you,
One day before the July race at New Hampshire, Ernie and Davey Allison spent a lot of time together at the track and with dinner.
So,
Ernie later said, quote, "I can honestly say that Loudon became
okay, yeah.
I am very
And then the
grateful.
cam cover needs to go like
See
this.
us in a different light."
And that goes on this side of the engine.
The death of a daredevil tonight. A 32-year-old legend in the making died this morning from injuries suffered in a helicopter crash.
This morning, the 32-year-old Allison died from a fatal head injury.
Yeah, I forgot Davey Allison died in a Alright, that's just wild.
Next Cup race was at Pocono. On Saturday night, he was contacted by Ford to see if he would be interested in driving the number 28 car. While Ernie was winning races at Morgan McClure, he felt they would never be a championship team. He suffered the 5th mechanical failure of the year and left Pocono just 11th in points.
Here comes Irvin.
Man, look at Irvin coming up through there on the inside.
Yep, all that battling. Here comes LaJoy. And
All right.
see, they caught him. This changes things. 1 lap to go.
Well, they can't do it if they run side by side. Earnhardt's going to win this thing. They got to win Ernie.
Yep. Tracy Leslie got into it.
This is them. This is going to take a look on that inside wall.
Irvin to the fence.
Alright.
Final lap. Kyle drops to the bottom. Irvin goes up on top. Kyle pushes it hard.
I guarantee you, Irvin goes pretty wide to the bottom with Jared. There's that bottom lane open for him.
Irvin's there on the inside. Earnhardt on the outside. Here they come. Irvin on the inside. The shortcut.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Welcome to birth of his daughter, Jordan.
9 each.
And here's Ernie Irvin. Looked like he's slowing down.
He was running in 11th spot.
With an offer in place to drive the 28 car with Robert Yates in 1994,
Right.
the only thing holding him back was his contract with Morgan McClure, the one he signed after just one race in 1990. Contracts can be broken, so can a lot of other things.
When we got to Bristol, I asked her, and he said, "Yep, I'm going." And you can't stop me. I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I got a 5-year contract." He said, two years remaining. He said, "Well, let me tell you something, Myra. I got to figure. I'm in control of the steering wheel, the gas pedal, and the clutch pedal. You can't afford to keep me. And I'll show you." And he did.
Ernie Irvin is spun down the back straightaway. He hit the wall just a little bit. I don't think there's a lot of damage.
And Irvin just out there by himself. The back end brakes look similar to the way when he qualified this afternoon. That Hoodie back there had to take a provisional spot to get in the field. The car just broke loose right in that same spot. Almost that same spot.
Cleaning the
Backup car did say he didn't make the
bolt
field.
threads,
His first lap
because we don't want a
on his second qualifying
whole bunch of RTV, old RTV stuck on it. Most of these are really clean. It's just a bolt or two. It's got not only old but new silicone on it. We just want to get rid of it.
The blown engines at Bristol were especially painful, considering the track was the team's home race. In his book, Ernie disputed the idea he gave anything less than 100%, writing, quote, "Once Larry McClure realized I was leaving, the atmosphere in the shop turned ugly, and for several weeks stayed that way. Larry and I wouldn't talk to each other. It was a bad situation, though I can honestly say the unpleasantness never affected the way I drove the car for him." Just a few days after Bristol, Ernie was released from his contract, believing that Ford had bought out the contract from Morgan McClure.
And there has been a significant driver change in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Earlier in the weekend, it was announced that Ernie Irvin, who was supposed to drive the car next year, would in fact take over as of today. We talked with car owner Robert Yates.
There was no enticement to get him to drive the car, but certainly we expect him to run the car well, and we feel he will. Our responsibility is to make it a good car, because he's, in his words, have said it's a championship team. We have a lot to live up to for what Ernie's opened his mouth about.
Ernie, this week you're in the news a lot, and we just heard Robert Yates say there was no enticement for you to come over there, but successful 3.5 years with the Kodak team, Morgan McClure, why make a change?
Well, I tell you, Jerry, the biggest thing you got to remember is we never asked to leave now. It was always at the end of the year. The idea was to move on to a different team. Robert Yates' race team is a championship caliber team right now, and the Morgan McClure team's also a good race team. I just felt I needed to do something a little different to put myself in the hunt to win a championship.
And qualified the first time in the Haviland Ford in 10th spot, so he'll be his usual aggressive self at this very tough racetrack.
Irvin continues to hound Dale Earnhardt, but so far Ernie has not been able to lead a lap. Got a good run going here. Let's see if he can in turn one. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Ugh, lots of cleaning, but it's worth it. Just hit it with a hand brush.
This is the 13th race where he has led a team one lap.
But Earnhardt's coming back. Now, this one down brave, the other one going into this turn. Irvin backs off. That's Earnhardt going.
One more.
Pulling Earnhardt right here. He's going to try. He's trying it.
The crowd is loving it.
Ernie takes a look on the inside. He's going to make the pass. Now, will he slide up and Earnhardt dip back under him? Yep. You know it's going to come.
Whew, God, this stuff always hurts my hands.
Earnhardt do that same thing when he goes through turn 3. Watch Earnhardt back off right there.
No! Oh, sorry, folks. We'll go back to that.
Go in there. Let Earnhardt drive right under him.
While I get ready to, I'll put that there while I get ready.
Another same situation. Ernie's got to back off a little bit. Earnhardt backs off right here. You've got to back off too.
Now Brett Bodine slips into third under Mark Martin. And up front, same thing is happening. There goes Earnhardt.
Oh, here comes Ernie. Back again. Is it wonderful?
Yeah, that's good. And Brett Bodine is the silent partner of this battle.
I think Dale Earnhardt looked up in his mirror and said, that's real nice. Say, Ernie, didn't give me room.
That little love tap. And the unofficial results of this event here today. Ernie Irvin in his debut with the Hamilton team is fifth. Well, Ernie Irvin is within now 14 laps of winning his first race with the Robert Yates owned Texaco Hamilton 14. The white flag waits for Ernie Irvin, who's less than a half a mile away from his first victory with this team. Here is a big win for Ernie Irvin and for the Robert Yates Larry McReynolds Texaco Hamilton 14. This is very emotional.
Ernie, congratulations on an outstanding effort, a dominating day.
Well, I tell you, it's pretty emotional. The whole time I kept thinking, Davey never made it to victory lane here. Bobby never has. And everybody had their own idea what they wanted to do for victory lane. I've been wearing this shirt since I started driving this car. I knew we could.
All right.
This is for Davey.
Got the bolts.
Out in front by about
Let's get the sockets, torque wrench set up, ready to go.
This thing home. Final corners now. Here they come for the finish. Here's your winner to the stripe. That is Irvin. There you see Larry McReynolds. Glasses on. What a great gentleman he is, and what a job he's done. Kid who came out of a Alabama
gotta put
Love racing cars.
lifters in it.
Winning car that it is.
Did the ignition problems ever go away in Charlie? Well, they would go away and then they would come back
So
again.
these are the.
I started switching again. They haven't told me what all of them
This
switches
will
before
be
yet.
the driver's side lifters.
Definitely want to try to do what Dale did this year and move up farther up these tables. If it's where Dale's at next year, that'll be fine. But
So these are the passenger lifters. So of course the lifters I need are contaminated. Let me get oil and get those installed.
Here at Daytona. In the first qualifying race, it's Ernie Irvin who takes the early lead. Mark Martin is in tow. Irvin led the first half of the race. Ernie Irvin overtook Rusty Wallace. Less than 10 laps left. He would never relinquish the lead.
Well, there's a 3 overall. Turn 2. Problem with car number 47 at Stanbridge.
Car number 47.
The leaders trying to get through and they make it.
He stopped right in the middle of the racetrack. Ernie Irvin had to go high because a left car went down low. The race would go green for one final lap, and Irvin holds on, beating Wallace and Mark Martin.
When they throw the green flag, we're ready to race. And, whether it's a point race or the Busch Clash or Gatorade 2125s, this is what it's all about. You got to do the best you can on each occasion, and win is what it's all about. That's what we try to do.
It's Earnhardt in second, Irvin up in front. We were watching and we were riding with Ernie Irvin. Listen and watch for what happens.
Boy, he is really fighting that steering wheel, Kent.
He dropped back from the lead.
He told the crew the car just got real loose on him in turn 4, and he decided just to get out of there and let him go, so the next caution wouldn't be him.
Last lap to decide it all. Sterling Marlin stays first. Ernie Irvin in second. Here they come down the stretch for the final time. It is Sterling Marlin in the lead. Down to the inside comes the 28. Coming to the line. Sterling Marlin's going to win it. Ernie Irvin, who left the Morgan McClure ride to go with the 28 team of Robert Yates, is defeated by that team. And Sterling Marlin wins his first Winston Cup victory.
You there, Agent?
Yo, what's up?
Hey, not too much.
Going for his 10th Winston Cup victory.
Hey,
Ernie Irvin.
talk to me. So I've been looking at Subarus some more, and I might have myself convinced to buy one, dude. Talk to me about, so like the STI from 2015 and newer has a different motor than the WRX, right?
It's got the old motor. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I have to talk here. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's got the old motor. It's got an EJ.
The STI has the EJ.
Yeah.
And the WRX has an FA. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then the new Subaru has what? The one you're working on?
This is an FA as well, but it's an FA24. Sorry. This is an FA, but it's an FA24. The old motor's an FA20.
Okay. So the FA24 is when they went to what do you call the injection? That is direct injection. That's when they went direct injection. Is the FA24?
No. The FA20 is also direct injected.
So is that how they're? So I noticed. So I'm debating whether I'm going to replace my drift car with a newer car, or if I'm going to replace my daily driver. And I saw that the WRX gets like 30 miles per gallon. And I thought, holy crap, I could replace my daily with this thing. Is that why the MPG is so much higher now? Is because they're direct injected on the WRXs?
Most of the time, yeah. Fuel economy really comes from variable cam timing, direct injection, EGR, etc.
Yeah. So because I've been kind of, I don't know, the STIs, you can find some that aren't terrible if they're 2016 or so, but they are going to be intake runner injected, correct?
It's called port injection.
Port injection. There you go. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
All the STIs with the EJ motors, which there is no STI that doesn't have an EJ motor.
Okay.
They're all port injected.
Okay. So then, what do you think is a better car/motor between the 2015 to 2020-ish WRX and the new WRX? Which one do you think is a better car?
Oh, the FA20 and the VB platform and just it is such a more, it's I don't care what people say, it's so much of a better car in almost
is
every
it really?
metric.
The VA, that's the
VB. The VB is so good. It rides smoother. It pulls more G's. Huh?
The 2015 or the newer one?
No. VB. VB is 2022 and up. Oh, God damn it. Gotta pick that up.
It's significantly better.
Yes. 2022 and up is significantly... This FA engine has so many better improvements and stuff. It's so much better.
Interesting. And then you were saying the chassis. Do you like the chassis better on, like, just the performance of the chassis on the newer one?
Yeah, it rides so much nicer, and it's much more squishier and more body roll, but it still turns harder, and it's much more. There's much more capability built in, and like the mounting points in the geometry is kind of the same.
Yeah.
But the fine tuning in, let's say like materials or like specifications of like springs and dampening fluids and valves and whatnot, I just think it makes. No, go ahead.
Is it McPherson strut in the front, or is it dual arm, or whatever you call it?
I'm pretty sure it's double control arm on the front. Dude, I don't even know. I should know that. I should know that. I haven't even looked, man. I haven't even touched the front. The car rides so good. I also haven't driven my car in like 6 weeks, so.
Copy.
Well, I kind of bought it and then immediately tore the motor out of it.
Gotcha.
Okay, we'll get that fucking contaminated shit out of here. Alright.
Well, I was just swinging through a short minute. I saw you were on. I figured I'd pick your brain for a couple seconds.
Oh, you're good, man. I'm sitting here. You see what I'm doing. I'm about to put the lifters in the head. And then keep on going.
I'm glad you're getting it back together this quick. It was sweet you were able to get it to the machine shop so fast.
I did not get it to the machine shop so fast.
Oh, what'd you do?
I took it to my... Oh, no, I'm fucking up. I gotta take these back off and check this. Oh, I took it to my master mechanic. And I had him personally put it in the lathe machine and... fucking milling machine. And, he said it took him more time clamping it down and getting it so where it won't tear up the aluminum and square and all that shit. Said 40 seconds with a nice four fluke end mill. They said it was just sloppy, incompetent, bullshit machining. I said, that's fine.
So, did I hear that it was hitting the sleeve?
Yeah.
So they set the sleeve with it sticking down into the crank space?
Basically, yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's laziness. Incompetence. Yep. It's just that's what happens when you someone talks the talk and then basically I called the machinist out on that. I was like, hey man, this is honestly like kind of bullshit. Like any good machinist would know to check for this kind of stuff. That you should be familiar enough with the architecture of the motor that you're doing work for to know what should and shouldn't protrude in the crankcase.
Yeah.
And he didn't really argue. He just immediately said, look, if you're dissatisfied, you can come get your money back. I said, okay, I'll be there in 20 minutes. I'll come get my money back. This is ridiculous. And in front of another customer, he gave me my money back. So, can't talk too much shit, but after so much trouble...
No, he can't, because he made it right.
Yep. That's exactly right. So, I'm just preparing now to put the cam carriage on.
All right, man. I wish I could hang out, but I just had a quick minute, so I swung in.
You're good, homie.
All right, you have a good one.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
Yeah, later.
Alright, so we've got just a little bit left to go. I gotta get the edge here.
Saturday night was pretty grim. This evening, serious but stable has never sounded so good. Irving's condition has been upgraded. It was critical. NASCAR will pick up four moves to the high bank on winners in Cincinnati. But all thoughts still focus on the incredible recovery of injured driver earlier. You know, last Some doctors gave Ernie less than a 20% chance of survival. But the recovery has been just incredible. In fact, they're already talking about moving him off the ventilator. He's able to move all his extremities, his arms and legs. It's the man who
Okay. I think that's enough of that. I don't think I'm going to be able to really make much of a difference.
I don't remember any of the rep, and for about 15 days later, this 15 to 19 days later, is the first time I remember something. What I recall kind of remember is actually watching the race at Richmond on TV.
Got one fly down to 28, Kenny Waller, yelling it down.
Started asking Kenny, about the accident, and she could only tell me as much as she knew, and how I was injured, and why.
Alright, let's get the right socket here. Oh, well, it might be a 12. Let's find out. Sure is.
Is it going to be a week before I get to go racing again, or what? She kept telling me that, no, we're just worried about you being able to live the rest of your life instead of worrying about racing. And I said, well, we're going to go racing again. I'm just going to have to start figuring out, where we're at on this situation.
Ernie was moved to a rehab clinic in Charlotte, where he practiced his hand-eye control by driving the remote control version of his car. He would chase the nurses with the car, drive it in and out of his room.
Hello.
Roxy.
Yes.
Congratulations. That was a great race.
Thank you very much, man.
Miss Ernie.
Ernie, buddy, we're pulling for you, man. I'll tell you what, your car ran good today.
Yeah, man. You did a great job.
Yeah, well, heck, we're all talking about you. We're all looking forward to getting back. Man, you're making it easy for me right now. When you were around, it was hard, boy, I tell you.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we have some great races there in March.
Got the lifters in. So now we're going to.
We're gonna have a lot more races come Daytona, is that right?
Yeah, I hope so.
I don't care if we
Oh, I gotta get the glue. I gotta put the glue on. I gotta tighten this. Let's go ahead and tighten that real quick.
You finished second. You won last time here. I finished fourth, so you're still the greatest, and we should get back in here.
I tell you, you did a great job today, and these guys needed some pumping up, so I'm glad you did it.
Well, thank you. I just want you to know, Ernie, that man, as soon as you get back, I hope you take a seat out of this race car. I know how hard it is for you, but we all love you.
Ernie's outlook went from bleak while laying in that Michigan hospital to bright when he made it back to the garage area at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. A mere 6 weeks after that near fatal accident.
Being back at the racetrack just meant a lot. This is
Oh, tartar sauce now. Where did I put my.
With a smile on his face, Ernie got to visit with his old buddies.
Tiny little tin. My 1/4-inch ratchet. Well, that's not good, folks. Gotta find it here.
So I won't feel left off and out.
And just 6 weeks after almost losing his own life, it was with just a smile.
Huh.
Urban bringing a whole lot of life back into the racing world.
Feeling really good,
Let's see. Put down here.
When he returned to the track, Ernie looked like his usual self, except that he was wearing an eye patch over his left eye. He had suffered nerve damage to his eye and had trouble focusing and moving. Because his left eye was pointing at a different angle, he developed double vision.
Well, I tell you, my health has really gone really good, and the doctors keep saying it's even more of a miracle because of how fast I've been recovering. And I'll probably be in better shape in about another month than I ever have been. Well, the word is that he's working out, folks. He's even playing on the racquetball, and with White Tim and Donnie Jordan by his side pushing him, there's a good chance that we might see Ernie Irvin back in a race car very soon, and that indeed is wonderful news.
In the first week of January, 4 teams were testing at Daytona. There's a fifth
Okay.
return in secret.
Man, I really wish I knew what I did with it.
Ernie was actually doing pretty good.
This is a travesty. I really need that thing. Now I don't know where it is. Did I knock it on the floor? Oh, I did. Look at that.
There's no way you can do that. I'm telling you, I can do that. So we come up with this wild idea to say, okay, you know, because they said no matter what, and last time won't let us do that. And you know how the old garages used to be? You could kind of spread out in there and not be right on top of each other, you know, because all that was there was forwards. And we were kind of in that one back garage there, kind of in the back. And
Okay, now I gotta get another paper towel. Oh no, that's not gonna work because I'm contaminating it. Ah.
So our GM Del Jarrett went out to practice, and so he come in, he got out of the car with helmet on and everything, and went into the transporter. I come out with the helmet on and everything, same helmet and uniform, same everything, and so I got in there and got in the car and backed out. Nobody knew nothing and backed out.
Oh, gotta put the O-rings in. Let's not forget that.
No problem about getting speed, and that's how easy Daytona is. And I mean, I was the same speed that Dale was, and that's what the car was. So, I mean, we were probably not very smart doing that. I mean, he had not really been released, but he wanted to do it. You know what? We wanted to let him do it. And I never will. When I finally saw that thing coming off the racetrack, it felt like the weight of the world, because I'm telling you, if you would thumped me, I'd have probably split in half while he was out there making these laps. It just gave me a lot of ambition and hope.
Oh, folks, I know you can hear them cars out there. I'm gonna bust them.
Late April, Ray was diagnosed with an aneurysm in the neck artery, which is pinching the nerves that control the eye movements and causes double vision. Over the summer, he had several surgeries to repair the aneurysm, fix the muscles controlling eye movement.
Alright.
Full approval. Return to race in September.
Back at Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia, we told you that this weekend is very special. One of the most incredible comebacks in all sports history. Ernie Irvin, 13 months ago, a 10% chance of surviving, but now he's back in a race car. You know, once the stock car hero Ernie Irvin was expecting to make his return to competition. Indeed, Ernie climbed to the number 28 truck and was one of the fastest.
Let's do like
Super Truck Series race. Unfortunately, rain moved into the speedway on Saturday and stayed throughout the qualifying and the Checkbook Truck Race itself.
Okay.
As a result, Ernie will have to wait until next weekend at North Wilkesboro to return to competition. Now, as Ernie prepares to return to the sport that left him so badly hurt, some inevitably question that decision, but not McReynolds.
Alright, so we've got this now. I'm gonna put the cam cover on. Get this.
If a person's not happy, is it worth not taking the risk? You know, he wasn't going to be happy just being a caller.
First, let's do our O-rings.
Being a consultant to drivers. What makes Ernie Irvin happy is driving a race car. He realizes that, knows that. His wife realizes that. As much as I don't want to see him get hurt or have a problem, it's like that's what makes Ernie happy. So it's worth taking the risk with him.
North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. It is official. Ernie Irvin is back in racing. He put that pirate patch over his left eye. Went out and qualified second in the truck, seventh in the Winston Cup car, and he is laps ahead of anybody else here in terms of interviews granted this weekend. It has truly been a heartwarming return for a tremendous.
Okay. Got the diagram for where to put the RTV. We've got the industrial size grade of ultra grade. Oh, let me change. Let me go back to it.
special day for all of us that enjoy auto racing. It is the return of Ernie Irvan. The Tyson Holly Farms 400 is underway. The 88 car driven by Ernie Irvan is in the lead. Second place is Dale Earnhardt and his 17th career victory for Mark Martin, winner of the Tyson Holly Farms 400.
This is not victory lane, but you might really think it really would be for Ernie Irvan. Ernie, a big smile. Congratulations on an outstanding effort.
I tell you, this is great. You know, everybody wonders why Ernie Irvan wanted to come back to racing. That's what it's all about. You know, I had a ball out the racing and racing with all my buddies and competitors and the people that have been so supportive and these fans. I mean, this is nothing more exciting than out here racing like this.
After North Wilkesboro, Ernie began wearing glasses with prism lenses, which corrected the angle of vision in his left eye, meant he didn't have to wear the eye patch anymore. After the season ended, he again underwent surgery to repair his eye muscles, restored his vision to where it should be.
Most everybody got 4 tires. Ernie Irvan took on only 2, and he is the leader. Well, if you're watching the battle for the lead, is there any doubt that Ernie Irvan is back? Not up here.
You look in that rearview mirror and you see Ernie catching you as you drive in that hard. He's got another 88 car.
Whew. Come on, a break just a second.
Now on a day where we crowned a series champion and a race champion, here's a true champion. What a great day. Thanks for the throw, Ernie.
Like I tell you, thanks for all the fan support and the people that believed in Ernie Irvan.
Before a man goes to war, he prepares both his body and his mind. He thinks of the past, but he remembers the future, and that he must face his fears if he is to live his dreams.
Seconds, 189.366. It is good enough for second position into 3. Side by side. Ford on the inside. Chevy on the outside. Ernie Irvan leading by about 6 inches. That comes Schrader. Here they come for the finish. They cut it out. They cut it line. Ernie Irvan holds it on.
Oh, God, my arm. We're almost there, folks.
And 3 wide. Marlin to the inside. But Schrader makes a move. Almost touched on the number 3.
Here comes Earnhardt. Back on the outside, trying to get back up to the lead. Oh, we have contact out here. Irvan into the wall.
Ernie Irvan getting slow coming out of the triumph and lifting. A lot of smoke pouring out of that car.
Come on, Dale. Hold it in the back, buddy. Do all you can. Winning 2 Daytona 500 would be too much. Here he comes to the line, and Dale Jarrett is going to pull it off at Daytona, his second Daytona 500 win.
Oh, I don't like that corner.
Well, push the issue here. You know, you've got a comfortable lead. You've got 4 laps to go. Let's just give yourself a little bit of a room in case something happens in front of you there.
Oh, okay. And we're gonna pick this up.
You don't have goosebumps on your legs and arms now. You don't have feelings.
Taking it easy now. He's got a 6-second lead. Since Sears Point in May of '94, a near life-threatening injury
Mated together. Now let's put the bolts in. Do the torque sequence.
Thanks a lot, Elon. I tell you what, this thrills me to death to be the first person to talk to you. First of all, welcome back to Victory Lane, and I wasn't sure you were going to get here.
I tell you, I did like Larry wanted to oppose Victory Lap, and that's an honor of Alan Quickie and Davey Allison, and you know, it's great what we've been able to do.
Okay. Nothing special.
Ernie, I got to ask you, those last few laps when you came back out and the pit stop cycled around, you were in the lead. I bet those last 20, 30 laps were a long time.
Well, it worked, but I just stayed focused on what I had to do, and didn't really think about winning until the last lap. It's amazing that we made it back to Victory Lane. And, you know, Daytona was great, but this is what it's all about, the Winston Cup.
Just about the same distance between first and second every time. So if Ernie Irvin is going to pass Dale Jarrett, he is going to have to find something that he has not displayed the last 4 or 5 times.
Alright. Oh, a caution comes out. It's crazy. It's unprecedented. Your mom is just out of control. Okay. Tighten all bolts to 18 Newton meters in order. Okay, so the order is like this. This is number 1. So this is number 1. It says 18.
Irvin's biggest challenge of the year was trying to keep up with a new teammate who was outperforming him. A scary moment at Charlotte in October threatened to derail Lucas.
Ernie Irvin is in the wall. Oh, got snagged again, and savage crash.
18. 3. Oh yeah, let's change it over. Yeah.
Crowd tensing as they saw the brutal conclusion of that incident.
4.
Team radio. The crowd was silent as safety workers treated him. Fortunately, he only suffered a slight concussion. Next race brought him. At the end of November came a surprising news that Larry McReynolds was leaving Robert Yates Racing. When Yates added the second 88 team to Dale Jarrett, McReynolds was supposed to oversee both teams. According to Irvin, Jarrett's team often acted independently and didn't want to freely share information. Larry worked to exhaustion to bridge the gap between teams and go even faster. Ernie wrote, quote, "It was like he had 2 extension cords. They weren't quite long enough to reach each other.
7.
But hard enough and held them to keep them plugged together." By the end of the year, Larry's hands gave out. The disillusionment of the team drove McReynolds across the garage to work for Rick Childress Racing, drag lead Dale Earnhardt to a record 8th championship. Days later, Ernie made a simple mistake at the awards banquet. That was the team's downfall.
But there's so many people that I need to thank just because of everything that we've been through, my family and Robert Yates and the whole Robert Yates family.
Loosen the bolts in the order. 3, 2, 1.
Continued support.
3.
And RJR.
So 3.
Also need to thank Ray Best
2.
for their support. They came
1.
with us from my comeback car and continue on. Gotta really thank all
1, 2, 3 to 18.
Tremendous job.
Okay.
And all the guys in the motor shop for producing the most power in Winston Cup racing.
Also need to thank the best car owner in Winston Cup Racing, Darren Yates, and you know their family. Their support has been tremendous. Also need to thank my wife for her continued support.
864.
What she's been able to do for me. Also need to thank Jordan too, because she's the light of our life. Also, last but not least, we need to thank God, because without him behind us, nothing would ever happen. Thank you.
Ernie forgot to thank Texaco in his speech. While this may seem insignificant, Texaco executives in attendance were surprisingly outraged. Ernie quickly apologized at their table. As he wrote in his book, quote, one of the executives could barely contain his anger. He told Robert Yates right then and there
795
expired at the end of the 97 season over a simple thank you. While Robert Yates stood up for Ernie Irvin in that moment, and restored a growing divide between Irvin and Texaco. Irvin's comeback could have been a horrible failure.
Then Titan 597.
I'm sure there must have been some concern about whether or not I would ever be able to win races again. There's no guarantee that I could win. You were betting you don't take a chance on promoting the comeback of somebody who might want to come back. As a result, my comeback was pretty much wasted as a promotion. Very little of Texaco's advertising featured Ernie. If it did, he was embarrassed to agree.
And Jordan will need to rely on the same Haviland Formula 3 motor oil you can buy right off the shelf. And also
Alright. She's made it. I mean, more than usual, but.
Ernie remembered a trip to Texaco headquarters in 1996 and couldn't find any pictures of him on display. It was though we were Texaco's stepchildren, he said. It was really odd and unfair. I suspect someone important to Texaco wasn't sold on me from the beginning. That's the only explanation we could come up with to understand why things evolved as they did. Even without Larry McReynolds, Irvin's 97 season started well. He was reunited with Mark Reno as crew chief.
Okay.
Good luck.
Here goes the pass. Gordon making a move on the inside of Earnhardt.
She's looking good. Let's do the other side.
There's Ernie Irvin's car. It's in trouble. A dramatic turnaround, and look at the abuse as the Earnhardt car flipped over the 28. He went over the top.
He may have it here coming up. Oh, and a car in the wall is Ernie Irvin. Is there a caution there? Will be unsure. Yes, the caution is out.
Yeah. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. I'll give you back this. We'll keep on going.
Ernie was trying to catch the car number 5 with Terry Labonte, who was leading the race.
All right.
Then Gordon, of course, comes up and hits Ernie Irvin. Ernie, you okay?
Yeah. What happened? Mr. Water's on for obvious reasons. Ernie Irvin just puts off and heads to the garage. Ernie Irvin's got to be looking for the third one. Go ahead and race that up. Cruising away. There's about 10 laps. The half a second away lead.
Oh, he crashed. He had a lot of momentum. God, I love hearing these old guys talk. They're so funny.
The 91 winner of the Daytona 500, Ernie Irvan, that much closer across another lap. What's that, 186 complete now of the 200 to be run. I don't think anybody ever showed him more flying than Talladega from 1991. He got up and apologized to the entire driving group of the drivers. Driving over my head, I've been too aggressive at times. 1993. Replaced Davey Allison, and that technical Robert Gates Stewart.
All right. Oh, if you guys want to see what I'm doing, I'm literally trying to do like this. Oh, getting these bolt threads nice and clean.
People maybe had written you off after the crash. After this year went a long year without a win, people were saying you're moving on, you might not be here, and you told me anyway, what you've got to do is win consistently. You took a big step today.
Well, I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, it's a lot easier to get sponsors to rally behind you when you win. And, we've been real close this year, but it's just a matter of combating. And, the only way we can get good luck is just keep preparing ourselves and be able to get good race cars every day.
Days after the Pepsi 400 at Daytona, Robert Yates told Ernie they would not be renewing his contract for 1998. Instead, Texaco pushed the team to hire 28-year-old Kenny Ruley. Then he compared to Jeff Gordon, the talent. In August, Irvan reached a deal to drive in 1998 for MD2 Motorsports, team currently in their debut season with Derek Cope in the league. While it seemed like a small, unproven team, the deciding factor for Ernie was the sponsorship with the Mars Company.
Alright. Got that taken care of.
He said that Skittles, quote, made it clear they wanted to promote Ernie Irvan. They wanted you to promote their product. Irvan finished 14th in points, his worst for a full season since the end of the year was marked by a runner for his replacement in the Truck Series race at Montana. hide any underlying anger over getting replaced. Post-race, he said, quote, "I'm glad he got the ride I had. I was ready to leave there anyway. He's going to learn. It's as sweet as it seems." Entering 1998, Irvin was named to NASCAR's list of 50 greatest drivers. Ernie became a father again. One day after finishing 7th in the Bud Shootout at Daytona, his son Jared was born.
To the inside, wants to lead back. And here comes Ernie Irvin with him. Ernie Irvin. That's a brand new ride for him, but it is working like Ernie Irvin's cars always do. Have something to do with the driver, I guess. Of the first 9 drivers right now, Irvin is the only one to take a victory in the Daytona 500. The lead pack comes down to the start finish line. Earnhardt Irvin. Right behind is Ernie Irvin.
Ernie Irvin with an incredibly strong game in the MVP. Were you at all surprised at the quality of that race car?
I really wasn't. It's good as Pontiac. It's a really good car, and they built last year, built this team, and the Pontiacs are an awesome car, and I'm just glad that we got a good run in. And
What now? What do you expect for 1998?
I'm just going to keep building on it. Just keep getting good runs in the week, and this is a lot better start than I had, and we're just going to keep building on it.
36.
Okay, lifters need to degrease and clean surface. Actually do both matting surfaces.
Irvin suffered a concussion in the track and an injured neck. He started the race at Daytona 6 days later before giving the car to Ricky Craven, who drove it to an impressive 8th-place finish. But with lingering neck issues and an overall battered body, Ernie chose to sit out the rest of the season instead of returning for 1 or 2 races.
silicone glue. Ooh, that looks like a hell of a crash.
Well, I saw a smoker in the corner there. 36 car. Ernie Irvin was smoking really hard going down in turn one. You can see he saw the motor there.
And I'll tell you what's happened to Ernie Irvin this year in 1999 shouldn't happen to a dog. He has had the worst luck, I think, of anybody on the circuit. There are some tough breaks in 1999. About every race for Ernie in 1999.
I think all this looks okay. I'm just so picky. I'm trying to make sure everything's alright. Realistically, you could probably glue all this shit back together and it not hurt anything, but that's not how I am.
The trip to Michigan in August, of all places, offered a hope for a good run. During the race in June, Irvin said, quote, Michigan has been a really good race.
Okay, here's this.
By accident. The track has been great for me. In June, Irvin qualified second and finished in seventh. The 5-year anniversary of the major crash fell on a Friday in 1999. Ernie would put it behind him. It likely wasn't working on his mind when he went out to push his practice.
Okay. Seems pretty bog standard.
He was airlifted to the same hospital he was at 5 years earlier, treated by the same doctors and nurses. He had suffered a bruised lung and another concussion.
Labor Day weekend started on a difficult note. Ernie Irvin, who had suffered a concussion from a crash while practicing his push car at the Michigan Speedway just a few weeks earlier, announced his retirement from the sport.
I appreciate everybody coming out. This is really a special moment in my career, and it's probably one I never thought I'd have to face. But I figure it's smart for me to retire.
Irvin's comeback from a near-death accident in 1994 was one of the most inspiring stories in NASCAR's 50-year history. Ernie will always be involved in the sport, but we will all always miss him on the racetrack.
A series of accidents took Ernie's career from him, but still there was one final misfortune that took what was left. March 25th, 2000, while the family was on vacation in the Bahamas, their home in Mooresville, North Carolina, caught fire and burned to the ground.
Oh.
The family lost almost all their possessions. Also lost were Ernie's racing memorabilia, including most of his trophies and racing uniforms, like the one he wore in the 1991 Daytona 500. Some survived. The Skittles uniform pulled from under a foot of rubble by a police officer. The officer got it cleaned and returned it to Ernie, who then donated it to the police to auction off to raise money for the Special Olympics. Memories were all Ernie was left with. That wasn't enough for a man who had the respect of so many. Many friends he had made wanted to give something back. While walking in the garage at Daytona in late June, Ernie was unexpectedly brought into a media center. Waiting for him was NASCAR President Mike Belt, who told Ernie that he was my hero. I mean that. You've been my hero for a long time. Then a curtain was pulled down, and Ernie was surprised with exact replicas of all 15 trophies he won.
Damn, he got all 15 trophies back.
After leaving NASCAR, Ernie stayed active. In 2000, he hosted a fishing show called On the Pole for Fox Sports. He was involved in real estate investments and formed a charity called Race to Safety, which raised awareness for brain injury and bought bicycle helmets for children.
Now you're trying to gear this toward young kids who's riding bicycles and scooters, right? Because there's no cure. It's all about, being able to have the prevention. And getting kids to start wearing their
Whew. I'm almost there. Keep going.
And I'm a two-time survivor of a head injury, and most people don't have that choice of being able to be a survivor. A lot of people die. 20,000 or 50,000 die a year with a head injury. Some of them are car-related. Some of them are accident-related with bicycles and stuff like that. So what we want to do is get it where every 23 seconds there's another head injury. And so it's a TBI, traumatic brain injury. And if we can get it where every 25 seconds there's one. So then if we can get it where that number gets farther and farther apart,
Okay.
we're doing a good job.
Jared Irvin followed his father into racing and competed in late model events.
All right.
So I think we've got him up. We looked at everybody better than that 18, so I'm hoping to bring
Hit
back
this one more time.
We got about as close as we can get it without having the actual response line.
Ernie continues to be well admired. He was honored as one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers in 2023. Where people called him Swervin' Irvin in response to crashing, Ernie wrote that it made him furious. Dictionary definition would say that to swerve is to change directions quickly. For good and bad, Ernie has had to change directions very quickly, many times in his life. But through unwavering strength,
Right.
moving forward. Maybe it's not so bad to be swerving after all.
Another RCR stories
Alright.
life and death of an automaker. But for the completion of this life and death trilogy, I'm taking the narrative overseas to investigate the demise of an automaker that may not be as iconic to American audiences as the previous two entries, but one that remains etched in the minds and memories of car enthusiasts the world over. I'm talking, of course, about Saab, one of the most unique automakers to ever exist. And while I can admit that at some level I didn't really get it at first, I imagine it would be the same way if I were a European trying to make heads or tails of what people miss about Pontiac or AMC, or an American trying to make heads or tails of what people miss about Pontiac or AMC. Ultimately, it's not really my job to get it, even if I feel like I totally understand it now. But in the grand scheme of things, understanding need only extend.
I don't know how you guys feel about RCR.
And how it ultimately fell into decline.
I think it's kind of funny.
Eventual death. And while
Or not funny, but not like in a comedic, like, not good content way. I think the guy makes really good content. Guys, multiple of them, it's a team.
why this is taking so
I think
long,
they make
and
good
send
stuff.
on the investigation to find out why it's been so requested. What is it about Saab that persists so consistently in the imaginations of auto enthusiasts? What propelled Saab to such highs, and what caused its downfall and early death? I've been working on this since July 2021, and it's now late April that I'm recording this for release sometime in May. And I feel like a narrative has taken hold. A tale of passion, innovation, 11th-hour deals, a tale of motorsport glory, unlikely allies, and a battle for control. A tale of executive meddling, heartbreak, and loss.
Alright.
Saab memories and comments.
Tools.
And none of that. Instead, I decided to tell you with the tale of an automaker that started out in a different
Remember, we don't have any torque with this. Just getting it close, so I don't have to ratchet it for 40 minutes. Okay. So now, get the torque sequence ready.
Now, while they did eventually get into aircraft, the early days of the company focused on railway maintenance, boilers, motors, and even bus lines. Now, this is all happening.
So you're supposed to do it with the cam covers facing this way. Okay. Tighten all the bolts to manufacturers. Alright.
manufacturing sector, ASJ was heading the effort. So ASJ began
One.
By 1914, the First World War had come to wreak its terrible menace, and Sweden had been famously neutral in major armed conflicts up to that point. But it's still an armed neutrality, because you never know, and it's best not to get caught with your pants down if you can help it. I mean, we all saw how well being completely unarmed worked out for Alderaan. Yet, while arming themselves didn't seem to be a problem, maintaining a conflict-free neutrality was a much taller order. Because you want to still be able to trade, but it's hard to do that without officially declaring for a side, or at least appearing to. Not to go into a whole recap of the First World War, I'm not Dan Carlin, God bless him, but basically, the Allied powers of World War I were the United States, France, Great Britain, Russia, Italy, and Japan. And they were locked in a struggle against Germany, Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire. With such clearly delineated sides, any countries caught in the middle had to be very careful about how they proceeded, lest they get drawn into the conflict, which was difficult enough for Sweden. But once the Allies cut off Sweden's trade due to their demand to import without restriction, the bad situation grew much worse. The Allied rationale was that Sweden's demand for unrestricted trade would be to Germany's benefit, which was something they could not allow. So, in addition to affecting the nation's
Loosen 3, 2, 1, then tighten 1, 2, 3 to 18.
It was a great mess, with the old administration being given a heave-ho, and the successors managing to come to a less hostile trade that would resolve the food shortage and allow the Swedish economy to recover. The agreement in May 1918 saw the Allies giving Sweden the green light to import produce, in exchange for the Allies having access to Sweden's merchants. There was also an additional proviso that limited German exports. In a general sense, 1918 was a pretty active year for Swedish involvement in World War I, despite the Pledge of Neutrality. Whether it was the trade agreement or Sweden attempting to annex the Allied islands while Finland was engaged in a civil war. It's generally pretty hard to avoid some level of involvement in a globally spanning conflict. The Great War would last an insufferable 6 additional months after the May 1918 import agreement Sweden reached with the Allies. And although Sweden wasn't among the nations that signed the Treaty of Versailles, they did join the League of Nations, which created a bit of a quandary for their process ahead. You see, all nations in the League were bound by the terms of the treaty, whether they signed it or not. And the Treaty of Versailles stated that if German disarmament was violated, hostilities would resume.
Jesus, it scared the fuck out of me. Alright. 7, 9, 5.
Have to do with Saab.
7, 9,
Well, in the immediate aftermath,
7.
Germany was forbidden from building aircraft. But in 1921, the same year the civilian aircraft restriction was lifted, a new company, a company by the name of Svenska Aero, initials Saab. With the birth of a new aircraft manufacturer, German companies had options to get around the restrictions of the Treaty of Versailles by moving their operations to other countries. But Svenska Aero AB was different. It was created by aircraft manufacturers Karl Clemens Bucher and Ernst Heinz, two German. The purpose? To build reconnaissance aircraft and prohibited vessels, and use the company to skirt the rules by making the parts.
Alright guys, let's put the cam time and tensioner back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the blue marker and mark these bolts. And also probably reach in and mark the head bolts if I can. And that's just for a mental note for me to know that I did it. And I keep forgetting. Oh wait, the marker's right here. Alright.
Svenska Aero AB began to suffer financial troubles after it became clear that nobody seemed to want to pay them to manufacture. Their clientele simply wanted the designs to build the aircraft themselves. As a result, the company couldn't afford to stay open on their own, so Svenska Aero AB merged with ASJ, retaining the Saab name. Although the birthplace of the joint venture was Trollhättan, a Swedish town whose name translates to Troll's Bonnet, Sweden's day-to-day operations were based out of ASJ's aircraft branch headquarters in Linköping. Despite being founded by Germans, Saab was a Swedish company, and for the next 20 years or so, they continued operations in the aeronautical field. Fast forward, and now we're in the middle of World War II. Although Sweden intended to maintain their neutrality once more, the Swedish Air Force still required planes, since it's better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them. And so Saab built dive bombers like the Saab 17, the Saab 18 twin-engine bomber and reconnaissance aircraft, and the Saab 91 trainer aircraft, created as a way to continue making military aircraft and keep orders high even as the war was beginning to wind down. Because while the 34th rule of acquisition states war is good for business, the 35th rule of acquisition declares peace is good for business. And yet, as World War II neared its end, Sweden was facing another shortage, and this time, it wasn't produce. You see, most of the cars driven in Sweden were American imports, but due to the war, car production had been stopped in order to redirect resources towards the war effort. And when production finally did resume, there was a backlog of demand that resulted in the likely scenario that Sweden would be waiting years for new American import models, which simply would not do. This, coupled with the reduced demand for military aircraft, meant that there was an opening for Saab.
I can't get to that one, I don't think.
New market and
Oh, well, maybe.
churning out products that could earn them tons of green, or whatever color Swedish money is. And so, Saab made the fateful decision to begin producing cars, erecting the Saab automobile division in Trollhättan and kicking off full-scale production on
Okay.
December 1949 with the Saab.
Rotate her around. Ooh. It's nice when it's balanced. It's so cool. It's literally perfectly balanced.
Who, for the most part, didn't have any experience working with cars. This is where we meet a man by the name of Gunnar Lundström. This was a guy who was inheriting a massive task, taking an underfunded division and assembling a team of 16 aviation engineers, only 2 of whom even had a driver's license in the first place. Cars were simply not the specialty of these men, but it was up to Lundström to lead them. And there was considerable pressure on Lundström himself, considering the weight of the legacy bearing down on him.
Okay.
He was the son of
Got all those marked.
Frederick Lundström, a man with more technical patents to his name than most people have hair on their head past 53. I'm talking patents for steam turbines, bicycle freewheeling hubs, and technology that gave Sweden its first jet engines. This in addition to the Lundström air preheater, which is responsible for global fuel savings to the tune of 4.9 billion tons of oil, thanks to its use in worldwide power stations. Oh, and he also held patents on mechanical automatic transmissions. Sorry to bury the lead there, but this
Oh man, those are really hard to get to.
future as an automaker, since it represented a path into the auto industry for a man looking to do right by the family name. As it stood now, Lundström's father
Marked them though. I marked the stud of them.
compete contract, and Gunnar had to find a way to carve out a legacy of his own. Of course, Gunnar Lundström was no slouch himself, having studied mechanics at the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm. In addition to being president of the student union, he was a pioneer in, of all things,
Well, folks, here we go. She is now ready to be put in time. This is a fully forged FA-24. We'll give you a little view here.
Ahead of the Second World War. He had a keen mind for aerodynamics and understood the importance of the
Here's the engine code.
To lead Saab's transition from airplanes to automobiles, he seemed to have a pretty decent handle on what he was doing, owing to his familiarity with mechanical automatic transmissions and the framework of automotive design.
I'll be spinning it around and working from this so there's more light. And I'll be putting the tire and set all those parts all that junk. We'll be putting that on, so stay tuned. I don't know if that's gonna be tonight. I need to go check on the wife. But this is a good place to take a little break and or stop. If I continue streaming, I will break clean. Get out there. Ah, that's what I am missing though. We need to do the bottom oil pan, which is this big wonderful piece I was cleaning earlier. And I'm not going to put it over the engine because it's still dirty, but it fits over it like this. So what did I just say? Oh, it's 130. Man.
Despite the color being finished with black boot polish, it was still an impressive sight. It was a weird car for its time, whether it was the covered wheels, the tiny rear window that seemed contrary to the industry standard of largesse, or the trunk lid, in this case, the complete lack thereof. Hell, it'd be a weird car now, but whereas now it would find a fan base with somebody who the diversity of modern car culture,
I don't want to try to do this now.
Even at a time when Art Deco wasn't that far removed.
Nah, I'll try to get a lot of stuff. I'll try to have this stuff done tomorrow if I can get my hands on some strong coffee. So, I think that's gonna be it for tonight, guys. Remember to check out the Discord. And yeah, we'll keep streaming. I won't be able to do all day next week like I have done. Well, obviously I took off work to get started, and then I got behind, had to restart the build, but that's not a problem. I'll be just staying up late nights for the probably next 2 or 3 days, getting the rest of the stuff done. The big major thing is the timing's pretty easy, but figuring out all of the evap, getting the fuel system and the harness and all that other shit. We're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be hooking it up, and it's not gonna be a problem. So, see you guys next time.